We'll get to it, man.
Are
all those bikes stolen?
Oh, you gonna get to have a good time.
Oh, you know that. It's been a long time.
I know.
Straight up the back, man. Like I'm ready to record too, man.
I know.
Hey, but before we get started, man, thanks for doing the podcast and everything, man. Lex spoke highly of you, man, and any brother that's a brother of Lex is a brother of mine, man. So we get to go.
Appreciate
it.
So this one, man, I had to do since Donnie, I've been introducing you into bikes, and I've stupidly jumped back into motorcycles. I have to take it all the way back to where, see, my whole motorcycle existence has been a mistake. All right, so I slipped up and accidentally joined the Ruff Ryders. I was thinking it was about to be stop, drop, shut them down, open up shop everywhere. It wasn't. One guy was holding it down though. And it was this dude right here. So as I started, I was super squid too, right? Because I had just bought my bike in 03, probably joined Ruff Ryders in 04. Now, I didn't know shit about him. This little dude's over here doing all these wheelies. I'm like, damn, boy, going crazy, right? So I started to try to learn how to do wheelies. And as you'll soon see, Bullo is harsh as shit. He don't hold his tongue for nothing. So he instantly starts talking shit. Why you got a Yamaha? You trash. Your wheelies gonna suck, the bike's gonna break, and all of this. But me, my personality, I don't take shit seriously. I was like, oh, this dude funny as fuck. I'm rolling with him. So the funny thing is, I've known him for so long, but now I'm gonna really figure you out, dog. Like, what's up with Bullo, the name? Where you from?
Yeah.
How long you been riding?
We're gonna go a little history lesson, huh? Let's go to the flashback. All right, let's go. So, once again, I'm Bullo. The name itself is my last name. I've always been called Bullo. I've always went by Bullo. Never really went by my first name ever, even in my clubbing days, party days, everything. But so from Hayward, Alameda. I went to school in Alameda and Hayward. Graduated from Hayward High in like '94, and then. Literally like 3 months after 94, 3 months in 94 after I graduated, I moved to Dallas, Texas. We get into trouble out here in the Bay Area, always into low riding, getting tickets and, fucking all that shit. They were fucking bad on me in the low rider scene. So I just bounced out right after I graduated high school and went to Texas and just was there for, probably I was there from 94 to like 2002 or a little bit before. Yeah. So my riding career actually started in Dallas, Texas. Okay. That was my first time seeing any of that shit. Like I can remember in '99 getting on the back of my friend's R1 when they first came out and just shit myself. Like he was the wheelie man, and I got on the back and he's like, "Let's go," and I'm looking out down. And I'm on the back of this dude's bike going 108 miles an hour in a wheelie, and I'm just freaked the fuck out. Like I'm just like, but it was like scary, but it was like, oh, here it is. This is what I like.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, in like 94, 95, I started, seeing the bike scene, how it was out there. Like it was way different. I seen cats from the East Coast, Midwest, all these cats just doing these tricks on these bikes, and it was just like, man, I was into it, fully into it. And and I got my first bike, my first real bike was in '98. I got me a Gixxer S-Rad 600 or 750. Yeah, the bubble top, I thought I was the shit. Totally like how you were, Lex, squid it out, got the branded jacket, helmet, matching, thought I was a shit.
Yeah. Hey, I did that. I had the blue helmet, blue jacket, blue bike.
I had it too. I thought I was the shit. I was like, oh shit. Made sure my bike was clean every second, no dirt. So I got that bike in '98, and I'm like, all right. So out there in Texas is like, there were already 4 guys that we knew about that were just wild. One of the dudes is that dude I'm talking about. His name was Jason Glasgow. He passed away when I was out there, but he was one of the crazy nut dudes on the bike, like just wheeling down 75 highway, LBJ freeway, just nuts. So, but every week, like as I'm a straight squid rookie, didn't know shit. I only had me and one other dude that were riding that I knew, and the funny story coming along down the road is he became a famous stunner too, but me and him started out there, so we were new to the game. I mean, me and him, all we knew was like, oh shit, Starboys, Wink 1100, Ruffer. We saw all these videos. We were the first ones to see these VHS tapes coming out. And we were like, man, look at this dude. Look what he's doing. Look what. And these are all guys in the beginning of the game that were like the ones. Like you had Wink, you had Street Fighters, you had Starboys were the number one. You had what's his name, Las Vegas Extremes. All these cats that I was like just in awe seeing the shit they were doing. And this is before handbrakes, any brake control. It was full on 100-mile-an-hour Lexus wheelies. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So when like for the bike culture and everything, cause you said 98, 99 is when you got started in it. When was the first time you seen a bike? Was it before that? And then 98 is when you got the I guess the not the.
So I was never honestly I was never into bikes. Even like I was into dirt bikes a little bit, but it wasn't like street bike game. I first saw a street bike. It was an old school EX 250 Kawasaki. I jumped on it with my friend's bike, straight death trap, and I played it off. I was like, my boy was like, my homie out here. It was in California. It was like in Santa Cruz. He's like, he rolls up on this straight Mad Max Thunderdome EX 250 bike, like death trap, and he's like, hey, you know how to ride? And I was like, never been on a street bike in my life. I was like, yeah, I can ride. I'll jump on it. Yeah. And I jumped on it and I rode it and I was like, oh shit, I like this, but damn, I almost killed myself right now. So I, rode to him and I'm like, guys, because I rode dirt bikes and shit. I played around with those, but the street bike game was a whole nother level. Like, and I didn't jump on another bike until I got to Dallas, Texas. And it was crazy because I think the scene, everybody on the West Coast was more into the drag racing and the racing, the slingshot, the Chick 750s, all the racing up at the raceways. Stunt wasn't even out here when I first went to Texas. That's when I first seen it, because I swear it was coming from the East Coast, Midwest. Everybody was seeing it, and you really didn't see it. There was no internet. There was none of that shit. You could only see that shit if you were on like a VHS. If somebody was at a motorcycle shop, because that's how everybody made their money. They were selling these VHS tapes in the motorcycle shops or in like cycle gears. Well, they really weren't cycle gears. They were just motorcycle shops. But that's how, like, I would be like, when we heard there was a video coming out, like I'd be one of the first ones like, oh, got to get this VHS, got to get this tape, got to see what they're doing. The Street Fighters are coming out with the Starboys are coming out with a new one. And it was wild. It really just sparked my whole interest of getting into the whole scene and seeing it. And it blew up. It started blowing up in like 99, 2000, like every Thursday, every Sunday, we'd be on Northwest Highway in Dallas, Texas. And I'm talking like old school style meetups. Like, I mean, there'd be like hundreds of bikes every Thursday. Now, one person could stunt, but maybe one or two people. And you'd see a wreck every Thursday because somebody run out of fucking Whataburger and be like, oh, watch this, and just wad their brain. You know what I'm saying? And I was new to it. Like right when I first got my Gixxer, real talk, I had that thing for about 3 months, and I thought I didn't know shit about bikes, like people stealing bikes and everything. And I lived in an apartment complex, and let me tell you, I
came up short.
3 months. I literally woke up. I thought I was doing everything right. I was parking my bike in the curb in front of my K5 Blazer, but there was no wall or nothing. So I'm thinking, oh, they can't see it, they can't get it. Locked it. Man, 4 o'clock in the morning, I heard my bike leave me. My heart
you heard it leave you.
Bro,
my
that's
bike
good.
was, I don't know, where's my bike going? I'm in the house. And I was like, oh. And it ended up, crazy shit is just because people knew who I was. I made some calls to people. Ended up, the bike was, I guess, caught up in some like theft ring. Like we found the people who got it, but all the bikes were gone. All I had was a headlight. All the stuff, my brand new Gixxer was a headlight. I was just crushed. I was like, oh, fuck this shit. Damn it. Yeah. And then literally like, I was probably, I don't know, maybe about 2 months later, I got me a little, another little S-Rad 600, little Bumblebee one that I was riding a little thing on. And that's when like we first started seeing when the DMX video came out and the Ruff Ryder anthem. I was like,
So 2000 to early 2001.
Yeah, no, it came out like 2000.
It came out in 2000, yeah, but it
Right.
took over the nation in like 01.
When I saw that video in Dallas, I was like, yo, I'm gonna fucking be a Ruff Ryder. Watch that shit. I want to be just like that. I'm about to. Man, I went and bought some Ruff Ryder shirts and shit. We were in the nightclubs with it on, had the bike out front. I mean, total biker boy type shit. You know what I'm saying? So me and my boy, Ryan Smith, we were the ones always riding in Dallas. He ended up moving to Austin after we were riding, and I moved to California. But we were in a crew that was called Street Styles. It was like the first crew in Dallas. We were rolling, made videos and shit. It's so funny just seeing how everything's back then with the tapes and shit. So I went back to California in 2002 and was like, fuck this. I'm getting into the riding. Boom. Got me a fucking bike. Started stunting, playing around.
What did you get? What was the bike that you got?
It was a 2003. It was 2003. It was the 2003 600R. That was the first stunt bike that I got. Before that, though, when I first got back, you mean like when
didn't you have a 900R?
Yeah, I had 900. I was going to say when I first got back, clean, brand new yellow 99 CBR 900R. I mean, I looked like a Power Ranger, yellow jacket. I thought I was the shit. So I had that bike. That was the first bike. Let me fix that. That was the first bike that I started stunting on, trying to learn all the back brake shit. Because we didn't have back brake or nothing like that. We were just going straight into it. You know what I'm saying? Wadding our bikes and shit. That's real talk. My 900 took a beating, but I learned everything on that bike.
So like,
because everybody on the East Coast was saying that they rocked the 900R. So I was like, I got to get me one.
Well, yeah. Everybody, Wink, all them Harlem cats, that's all they did was 900.
All they had was 900. The Honda 900s were like the staple of the stunt game. You rolled up in that big-ass tank, and you were just like, oh, shit, he knows what he's doing. And I was like, so I had like two of them. The first one I did was the yellow one, and after I crashed it a few times, I furred it all out, just like the Star Boys. I did all Raider fur.
Florida shit. Yes, you did do the Raider shit.
I did the Raider. It was all Raidered out with fur. And then after that, I was just like, I went through that bike, got another 900. And that's when, in 2002, I went to LA for the first time, rode that 900 down there with my boy Cam. And we were introduced to the LA Ruff Ryder scene. That's how it all began. We literally heard about a Ruff Ryder event in LA, and I told my boy from 98th in Oakland, hey, he's got a 929. He's like, hey, let's go ride to LA. Come with me. So we literally, from Hayward at like 6:30 at night, jumped on our bikes and rode all the way, all night, all the way to LA. Damn. And in the morning, bam, it was it. It was the Ruff Ryders. Like, it was when it was so hot, when it was first starting, it was blowing up. And they had the fucking T-Rex out there. They had all the LA Ruff Ryder cats, and me and him were just like, oh man, we got to get in there. This is it. This is the one. And we went on the first little annual Ruff Ryder there. And that's what got me. I mean, I was like, all right, I was there fucking around with it. Then I was like, oh, now I'm stunting. And I went down there and started stunting because none of them stunted either. So here comes this dude from the Bay, and I'm just smacking him with the slow wheelies down there in the Ruff Ryder parade. And, I wasn't repping shit. I just, I was in the game. Nobody knew who I was. And I was like, oh, shit. And this was my first entrance to, like, meeting all the real Ruff Ryders from the West Coast down in L.A. because that started it first. And then, then when I got back to Oakland, that's when they started the Oakland chapter. And that's when, like, White Boy John, everybody else was like, oh, they went to Miami. They met with Wink. It's official. There's an Oakland Ruff Ryders. So I was like, all right, I got to join this. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So then that was literally the beginning. So when I joined was pretty fresh. Oakland Ruff Ryders was pretty fresh.
Yeah. When you joined, we were established for like maybe 2 years. I think it was a year and a half, 2 years. That's when I first
because I came in in 04. Because it's mad funny how I came about because I kept clapping my shit. And then TJ, I went on, I think it was Craigslist or something, and the person I contacted ended up being TJ, and he had parts for me. So I put it together, cool, riding, clap my shit again. And so then I go hit him up like, yo, I need some more parts. He like, nah, man, you can't get no more parts unless you become Ruff Ryders. So I didn't know there was an Oakland Ruff Ryders, right? So I go, that's when I first met And everybody out front of the house had Ruff Ryder vests on. I said, oh, these niggas is for real. This is really Rough Riders. Like, there's really Rough Riders out here. And so then I'm bullshitting them. Yeah, I'll join. So I bought the parts and went and put my bike together and dipped out. Me, Marcus, and all our homeboys, we was just mobbing, just being little idiots, hitting back roads, doing these power wheelies, banging rev limiters off the wheelies, blowing our fork seals out when we slammed, all the squid shit, right? And one night we were riding around in Oakland, and I guess it was a Wicked Wheels function or something, but all the Rough Riders was parked out there. We slipped up. Yeah, we slipped up in the mix, and all of a sudden, oh, the shit meshed. There go little blood, come over here, blood, you Rough Riders. I'm like, oh. So I'm looking at Marcus and them like, and Twan and everybody like, y'all gotta go. You know what I'm saying? So that's how we all joined. Yeah. And it was crazy because I think you and Fatawi was like the stunners. And we had only seen y'all at that one event hitting the block, and I'm sitting there. This is fresh off Biker Boys. I guess Biker Boys just came out a little bit, and so I'm looking like, damn, this is real life shit. They on the block, really killing it, and it's like music playing, like actually really authentic Oakland. That's a real authentic Oakland element. But these fools was really stunting, like really going crazy.
Oh, so we going back wheels right there, wheeling back and forth.
Yeah, back and forth. Yeah. So when we started going to the meetings, I never saw you. I don't think I saw you until everybody was saying, aside from that first time, until everybody started saying, oh, Bullo's having a ride in Frisco, and then everybody's going to go. Hella Fools didn't show up, but I went, and I was riding and watching Bullo you had speakers and shit on your bike at that time.
Yeah. I had the $900
the
speakers.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm riding. I'm like, oh, these fools are really doing it. And I remember seeing Darius. We had all heard of Darius and shit, but he was one of the Creek, Pleasanton, the upper echelon cats. I'm like, this little fool grimy. I'm like, he in the hood. You know what I'm saying? Like, you always had the face mask on and everything. I'm like, blood outside. I'm like, and then when you came to a club meeting, I was like, oh, okay, so he is really Rough Rider. But you seem to didn't really fuck with everybody like that. Like, you fucked with everybody, but
no, there were a few cats. There are too many haters in the Rough Riders, as you know. You know what I'm saying? Like, in 2004, when I really was official, Wink 1100 had left. Wink 1100 had left the Rough Riders. Left the big ass boy. There was no major stunners, and I was like, yo, we gotta blow this shit up. Like, so I met with Watt and D and fucking everybody in corporate, and I was like, look, they are having these major stunt events in Florida, Stunt Wars, where you guys go. Now you don't got nobody, but shit, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna roll out. So for 2 years straight, we went to Florida, and I represented hard for the Rough Riders all over the nation, everywhere, because I was the only one that was really down to do it. Everybody was about all that talk. There were some stunners in the Rough Riders up in New York, like Supermax and them, but they didn't. They stayed in the Brooklyn. They stayed in, you know what I'm saying, the Bronx and shit. They weren't coming out. They weren't traveling. Me, I was going Texas, Arizona, Chicago. I didn't give a fuck. I was going everywhere. Florida is where I put my staple on it. Is when I first got the 600 RR and Street Fightered out, was stunting hard. I'm practicing going everywhere with it. And that's when, you know, me and Darius really linked up and we're just riding all the time. I mean, shit, he would never ride in Oakland unless I had to call him and say, hey, come over here. Ride. We're about to kill the streets. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? I didn't give a fuck. I was always riding out in the streets. Yeah. So that's all I was about, even with the Rough Riders.
So we went on when you say you went on the trips and everything. Was that all out of pocket, or was the corporate guys giving you money, or is just was that?
2 years it was out of pocket. Okay. That's all out of pocket. Yeah, they 2 times they gave me a little money, and some merchandise. When the Rough Riders were really big, they had their own jeans, shirts, and everything. So I would sell merchandise, take it with me, and do that. But for real, they really didn't have it. See, the whole funny thing about the Rough Riders, it was never about being a motorcycle crew.
Right.
No, it was outlaw. Yeah.
Only reason Rough Riders existed was because Wah and D saw a way to franchise their name by involving motorcycle clubs, crews all over the nation, which pumped up their record. So they would say, okay, here it is. Now you got a president. We got dues. They made it. They made it that way. And it was a perfect model. And it still exists today when Rough Riders aren't even exist. They don't even exist anymore. They're owned by Paramount. They're not even Rough Rider is gone. You know what I'm saying? It's gone. Wah and D don't even own that shit no more. So whoever the Ruff Ryders are now is just an entity of the motorcycle shit that's left. You know what I'm saying? And it's just a totally different thing. It's not what it used to be. Still got love for all my Ruff Ryder cats. Still to this day. It's still always will.
Hey man, that's it. Lexis seemed like a common trend, man. When guys were like in their 30s and up, man, it's like, well, I'll say 35 and up. It's like shit is like you said, it ain't the same. When you got back into it, there was no social media. It was like Street Fire, no YouTube. And like now, it's like now, you know, you put in the grind, like you say, you paid out of pocket, and a lot of those guys you say probably were hating was like, oh man, they giving them shit. They don't know that money's coming out of pocket. They ain't, you know, that's for the love of the game.
Well, see, that was the thing, right? See, when I came in there, I was 20 something. Bullo was, I realized Bullo was a lot older than me, so I'd watch his moves or whatever. But also, you got to remember, I was a young kid, 20 something, but I was making six figures already. So there was no way I was going to come into a club and have no nigga tell me, oh, you got to wash our bikes, you got to do this, you got to do that. Because I kind of forego the prospect shit. I'm like, I ain't prospecting shit. I either am or I ain't.
You see, that's the funny thing. That's when shit started changing in 2005, 6. We never did that prospect shit. Ruff Ryders aren't even an MC. They're not even a motorcycle club. They're not. So they started taking on, when they started trying to do all that shit with the prospects, push-ups, wear the same pants. That's when I started going. Well, that's when I started going, this is no longer a lifestyle. These fools are trying to turn this into some army shit with some whack ass presidents in there. You know what I'm saying? And haters. And they became haters. My own people I thought were my family, my folks, were backbiting, talking shit about me because they couldn't do what I did. And that's when I saw that coming and the shit that I started seeing. Now the president of LA was my boy and fam, like straight up. And when he went to prison, it kind of shattered the whole unity between LA and Oakland and everybody up here. Just branched off. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was a different time. So I knew that inside the Ruff Ryders, I was like, all right, I got a crew of my own guys that I ride with, and I got other folks that I know. So I'm going to start my own shit. I'm going to be, even though I'm still in the Ruff Ryders, I'm doing West Coast Connection. Straight up what I started in 03. And I was like, I was still in Ruff Ryders, but I already knew where this is venturing off. Like, there was too many people that were basically too many chiefs, not enough Indians, and everybody wants to change rules. It's no longer fun. It's no longer about riding. It wasn't even, I mean, it's changed so funny. A lot of the things that they try to stop eventually happened anyways in the Ruff Ryders. They weren't even allowing Harleys in Ruff Ryders in the beginning.
Nope.
Now every single Ruff Ryder
is on a Harley.
And it's like comical because White Boy John was like, yo, I'm going to start the hog status. We're going to do the Harleys. And Bumpy and all them clowns fucking were like, no, you're not going to do that. Not under us. And then I was like, yo, I got to go. There's too many haters out here. This shit is not even fun anymore. Just people not even.
What I noticed was, what was that, the 05 LA trip? We all went down to LA. I had my girl with me, and I'm just kind of peeping game. And I'm seeing how Bullo's moving. When Bullo got to LA, he was LA. And I was like, And then so, I'm feeling like, I was like, oh, there go Crow and Jay Beats, and oh shit, these the niggas from LA, and Bullo with them. And then I was looking at our chapter like, what we doing? Like, you know what I'm saying? What we doing?
That's the fucked up part about it is Oakland always wanted to be separate and do their own thing. And it's like when we all come together, we're supposed to be one. We're supposed to show, let's get down. Because I mean, before that, when we went down to LA, it was all one unity. Everybody shutting down the freeways. It was yanking. But because of people's egos, and people like want to, just because you're a president doesn't mean you're going to do anything better than me. You can't even fucking wheelie. Like, why are you trying to tell me that I can't wheelie? I can't. My crew, I had 5 dudes under me in my crew that were still Ruff Ryders that are banging on everybody. And you're trying to tell, you guys got to get in the line. You got to be behind us. You got to look, motherfucker, fuck you. Man, I'm here to ride.
Yo, when we went to Fresno, I think, didn't you pull Jovan in? Did you pull Jovan in?
Yeah.
Okay, so we went to Fresno.
Jovan is just like you. Jovan came in just on the whim. He's like, I got a brand new Howie jacket, and he saw the Ruff Ryders. And same shit.
Because that's when shit started getting tight. That's when I said, nope, that's when I started being unruly at the meetings, at the club meetings,
Yeah.
because I'm like, no, these niggas is going crazy in the streets. This is what I joined Ruff Ryders for. I was like, all this kickstanding and chilling and all this, that ain't me. Because y'all met us on the whim. We was out doing and moving. We had been back and forth all over the bay down to San Jose and came back to Oakland to get some gas and saw y'all niggas on the accident. I was like, they doing and moving. So then that's when I think it was you, Jovan, Tone, and Big Chris, and I think Rob, 51. Yeah.
Rob came through too. He was, he left. Remember the whole shit with him. He left the Ruff Ryders, but that was on some other shit. But we all still rode, and that's the funny thing is, like you said, we ain't tripping on bitches and party. I love to party and kick it, but I want to ride. So this whole, you got to meet up at Olive and you got to wait here for us and we got to do all this. I'm like, nah, man, I'm out here to shine with the folks. And that's the funny thing is that I love to party and everything, and Fresno was a shit. Well, our best memories of my life was going to be so much fun. But when you start taking the cats that are like, oh, no, you can't. It basically just became Bullo and his crew. They outshined us in our own crew. We can't have that. And I was like, yeah, no, you can't. And then man, straight up fucking bitch made, to be honest, straight bitch made. Because Fresno. You can't let somebody else shine. You want to hate on me. And believe me when I tell you, hate, it was real snitch. I had motherfuckers that I thought, well, cool, straight snitch on me. Cops come to my house. That's a whole nother story.
Oh, man.
I cannot be part of a crew.
That's damn. I know that shit exists like that, man.
Donnie, we're not telling a lot of stories.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah, we got to keep it PG-13.
Yeah, but shit was real.
Yeah, and it's just, I knew that it was more people just throwing that vest on for some clout, some shine, but really wasn't talking about shit or doing it. And that's the sad fact now. It's I still talk to all the Oakland Ruff Ryder cats. Still got love, see them all the time. A lot of times I'll travel. I was in Houston and they were all flying into Houston. I was there for another motorcycle event. It's all love. It's changed a lot because they got rid of a lot of the cancerous dudes, but there's still some cancer ass dudes in the Ruff Ryders in the Bay Area that are just like, will never make it to where it was or even used to be. And it's too much of, just too much of this. I want to be the best shot caller, whatever. And I'm like, bro, you go 10 miles an hour. You can't even ride your bike right. You crash in 15 minutes. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Bruh, I remember the first, I'd always tell my wife, oh yeah, we were fucking around, we got in a police chase. It was never no big deal. But that one time we were in Fresno and we were riding, she was on the back of my R6 and she was filming. And I told her, like, when we left the hotel, I was like, I'm riding with them, with you, Jovan, and all the killers, right? I was like, yeah, we with the crew, but when the police come, I'm going with them. So she's like, all right, so she was already knowing. And I think you and Jovan and somebody else was on the freeway hitting it, right? And everybody sat down, and all I saw was the,
the tap.
Yeah, and my wife, she's filming. We start mobbing. I'm with Jovan. We digging through it. I think we were coming through Visalia or something. We were coming through somewhere. We were going up to 99. But anyway, we were mobbing, and she was like, "Damn, y'all really be running from the police?" And I'm like, "Yeah, this is what it's supposed to be. Who finna pull over and get a ticket for some shit that we already know we're breaking the law? This is what it's supposed to be." And when we roll with y'all, we be beasting on the police and everything. Like, I honestly think this is your fault. I honestly think you're responsible for all this takeover bullshit with the bikes.
Yeah. If you were to see me ride, we just had our ride 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
Nothing. The game has changed so much in the stunting. Everybody stunts now. It's not like a few people. I'm talking our ride probably had the most people I've ever seen stunt on a night ride through Oakland. And I'm like not scared of people riding because everybody has control. Before I'd be fucking freaked the fuck out.
Terrified,
yeah. I mean, in 2002, when I first got back from Texas and I had my 900, my second one, I got bapped on 7th Street, broke my leg. One of the SB Freaks guys T-boned me at like 90 miles an hour, and I'm in the hospital. and I'm fucking waking up, and I'm like, my legs mangled. They might cut it off. I mean, it was a dark time for me for like 6 months, and I was like, and it's funny because everybody's like, man, you were fucked up. Didn't you quit riding? I was like, nah, I'm already mangled now. I might as well just keep going on it. And for real, because of that, it pushed me to get better in the bike game, and that's when it really took off. Is like I was like, I'm not quitting this shit. I might walk with a limp, but I'm still gonna ride.
Yeah, because when I met you, you had a heavy limp. And,
yes, I had. Yeah. I was down 6 months. I was fucked. I even went to Darius's video premiere with a fur cast on my left foot and a fur bike, and I was like, I'm about my shit. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna ride.
That was dope. So when no, go ahead.
I was saying because a lot of cats I know, they crash and they don't ride no more.
Yeah.
It ain't in them. And I get it, but I mean, some guys get a little scared off a little crash. I mean, I've already lost 3 friends just crashing on the streets. Like it's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? And I think about it. I thought about it different, and I'm glad I didn't quit because it made me who I am, and I was traveling the world and got to see everything. You know what I'm saying? Experience the shit with Lexis, and then everybody, you know.
Yeah.
So when you fully branched out and went full West Coast connection, like that was just like
2007 after the Fresno. And that's when we just traveled the nation. Like we were doing shows everywhere, everybody. And, you know, I still got love from the Ruff Ryders, but the Fresno Ruff Ryders, you remember Joe, Indian Joe? Yep. So he sponsored us for a long time. Like he paid for a lot of stuff, and he didn't want us to leave the Ruff Ryders and stay in there. I mean, it would have been lucrative because, I mean, it was endless money with that cat to pay for things and travel. But it's one thing wearing that vest, and I miss wearing it. I mean, we had so many good times. But when I see the guys in it now and see what's happened, there's just now not everyone. I see a lot of Ruff Ryders. It's a lot of love, a lot of family. But it's not what it started at. You know what I'm saying? If you think about it, look, Wink 1100 left, and he was the fucking token man of the game. You know what I'm saying? He was the Ruff Ryder to this day, and he still shouts out. But he went through a lot of the same stuff with me, the backbiting, the hating. You know what I'm saying? Like, and if the money's not there and you're busting, like the one thing I always said, we would basically, when we roll out to Fresno or any other spot, we were putting on a show and we weren't getting paid. Sometimes get a little gas or something, but it's like if we in an organization like Ruff Ryders, we're paying dues and this and that. You should be paying money. We could have a fat ass fucking event, make hella money. But the people who were making the money were the presidents and skimming off the top, selling merchandise, selling shit. But off our backs of us breaking our bikes down, going over there, tearing our tires off, tearing our shit up, but not paying us nothing. So I was like, yo, why do I need you guys when I got the name, I got my crew, I could do it all myself. And that's what initiated, you know, like, you guys ain't going to make money off me. You know what I'm saying? You need to pay me for what I'm doing because I'm out here breaking my body, breaking my bike, breaking everything. And you guys are making money because you charge $25 at the party, you charge $20 at the money. You making money. I was like, nah, I'm good.
I remember when you first tore off and DMX Lord Give Me a Sign came out, and this video that you made, but it was when you were making it, when you were filming that. Man, I remember getting the call from you. You like, yo, we outside. You trying to ride? I'm like, yeah. And then he was like, all right, but we also need somebody to drive. This is how I met Eric. Like Pay Up Sucker, the little nigga with all the tattoos. So so you was like, yo, we need a car. We need somebody to drive the car to film. So I'm like, all right, cool. Mobbed out, gave them my Speed 6, came back, got my bike, and we rolled out. So I'm like, I was still cool with kind of just playing the role, sit back and watch. But man, we was riding, and you like, put it up. I don't even think I could slow that shit down and do a constant pace wheelie at that point. But when this man put me behind my car to do a wheelie, I was like, brrr, and I accidentally found back brake, and I was kind of riding. I was like, oh shit!
That was your best wheelie of your whole life, probably. On film.
Damn, man.
Yeah.
I was probably one and last time you've ever wheelied like that.
Like that for sure. That's a goddamn fact. But nah, it was hella funny.
All eyes on you, all lights, everything, and you were like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna do it or die."
That's really what it was, yo.
Bro, that video that I made, like, I mean, you're in the video and like you're on the freeway, you're banging that shit, like everybody's seen that video all over the world, like.
But that was literally the first night, though, yo. Like, literally, if you hadn't been like, nope, you go do a wheelie now, I probably would have been chasing rev limiter forever. But that was the first day I dropped back and got on the brake and said, oh, my God, this is how it works? And it was lit from there. Because I remember me, Asian Alex, and everybody, we would go hit 7th Street and practice. And so I was riding with y'all, and Kazim and all the other Ruff Ryders didn't know. So I had the new 06 R6. Remember when?
Yeah, Raven.
Yep. So they didn't know I had it, and so they didn't know I could wheelie either. And we had a ride or something. I think it was another one of your rides when we were going through Oakland. Oh no! It was when that kid died in 7th Street. And we did the funeral, so everybody ended up in Oakland, and I had my black helmet, black visor, black bike. So I just started wheeling. Well, Kazim is looking, everybody looking, because this is the newest R6 out. And then I'm coming by and I'm staring at everybody doing a wheelie. And I'm feeling like, damn, I could really wheelie now, boy. Like, this is crazy. Do a couple slow wheelies and I pull up and I pop the visor, and Kazim, because I wasn't wearing my colors or nothing. Kazim looked and said, oh, that's how you feel? I was like, yep. And I think that was the day I resigned from the R. I was like, I'm riding with West Coast, man. We outside.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, good.
No, I was want to say, man, because you're both telling us like your stories right there, man. For both of you guys, man, because I'm just sitting back listening to two OGs, man. It's a good time for me, man. So for both of you guys collectively, man, what would you say is the moment when it is like it clicked for you, and it felt second nature? You can get on it right now and throw it up. Like, when was that moment for you in your career?
So, like, when I knew when I competed in Stunt Wars and I saw Stunt Wars in Florida was every great stunner in the race met up. And when I competed with them and I actually was in the competition with these guys, I was like, I made it. You know? And I did shit, you know what I'm saying? Some crazy shit and they were still way better than me. Some things were just crazy. There were riders from the East Coast that were doing some crazy ass shit of the time, you know what I'm saying? And when I got in front and competed in that's when I was like, yo, this is it. I'm gonna do this forever. You know what I'm saying? That's when I knew it clicked that I could just jump on a bike anywhere. And that's what I started doing. I started just flying out to places. Like, yo, it's a bike for me. Let me jump on a bike. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go roll out. And that's pretty much the beginning, and it's 2021 and it ain't stopped. I mean,
it ain't stopped. Yeah,
literally, we just had our ride 2 weeks ago and it was banging. Like, it was wild. And like I said, I can honestly say, seeing it in its infancy, a pioneer in the game, to where it is now, it's crazy. Because like I was saying, it's went from a handful of people on a ride that can stunt to 300 people in a wheelie at one time type shit. Crazy. Yeah. We just had probably the whole 7th Street from the beginning to the end, everybody on a wheel. It was nuts. It was like, and I'm just looking back, like, now when I'm on riding, I just like to look back like a dad, you know, real talk.
Yeah.
Shit, like, oh, my kid. You know what I'm saying?
And you see me, I be on Stunt News anytime I see any West Coast connection. Excuse me, where's Bullo at? Because I'm like, yo, y'all can't be doing all this West Coast without Bullo.
And the funny thing is, I honestly, bro, the game has changed so much. Like, I've witnessed it firsthand from our rides from 2014 and 15. The cops don't play. No face, no case. Still ass thing. I've watched them on our last ride in 2017. A little story here. 2017 was our last ride for a year because of some straight up crazy shit. You can still see it on YouTube. My friend Guru, when we were on our ride, Crazy Martin and Guru, they videotaped these guy wheeling next to one of the CHP officers on his motorcycle bike, getting hella close, then flipping him off and telling him to kick rocks and get out of here, fuck off. And he left. But little did they know, I was like, after the ride, I was like, yo, bro, don't post that because they're going to come for you. And Guru goes, nah, they're not going to come for you.
Shit.
They're not going to come for me. Nah, fuck that. They're not. I said, Guru, I'm going to tell you this real talk. And he's like, all right, whatever. And literally that night, bro, he posted that shit on his YouTube channel. The next day, I get a call from my other homie, Seabear. He's like, man, I'm running down the street. Fucking CHP and the cops just arrested fucking Guru for that video. And I'm running and I'm like, I told him, I said, bro, they're going to come for you. You cannot keep disrespecting these guys on the TV. You can't. I'm still to this day. I see the cop. I put my shit down. These guys go hunting for the cops. They're literally trying to clown the cops, and I'm like, it's just not me. I'm good. I already had.
It did happen,
dude. That's why I'm saying I've seen it in its infancy. It used to be, you see a little police chase. It was crazy wild. Now every video has a police chase. Every video. It's what they wanted. They think it's the greatest shit on the planet, and I'm like, no, it's not.
The thing is, you can only disrespect and embarrass the police publicly for so long. Like what we used to do, we see him whatever, set it down and just kind of like,
they get that now, like
phone out. Yeah. It was literally like you showed a little bit of respect. Yeah, we disrespecting. Like the one time we had a police chase because we was going so hard with the R's on our back, we pull up and the cops saw our R's and jumped on us and whatever. We had to been a couple corners, pop off, unzip our vest, throw our vest in the seat cows and riding. But that was when I was like, okay, you know, I know we've been wilding out, but then when everything starts getting posted on YouTube and social media and all of fuck the cops, like going up your face and doing all that shit.
Bro, stupid. I constantly now, like what you were saying, like, oh, I didn't see Bullo. I don't give a fuck. If you were there,
yeah.
I tell people, hey, you can beat the taking. I cover up all my tattoos. I got a full face now. Remember before?
You've been doing that for years. You used to be half helmet with a mask, though.
Bro, when you have 30 CHP officers knocking at your door at 6 a.m, like I did, I'll tell you right now, it changes a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't want to be disrespected like that. I literally, bro, a month ago, 3 of my guys got arrested down in LA and spent time in jail, all felonies. And they didn't even get caught on their bike. It was crazy. And they're fighting a case, having to spend hella money. And I'm like, man, I'm 46 years old. I don't need that kind of fucking shit. I'll still ride and I'll do whatever, but I'm not, man. I hate to say it. I hate to sound like before it was like, fuck that. I'll ride till I don't fuck. You could see some of my old videos on YouTube where I'm like, oh, they can't stop me, Dub CC 2015, let's go. Now I'm like, oh, shit, hello?
Yeah.
That's why when you popped in and said no face, no case, I was like, say no more. I was like, I get it. I understand.
Hey, they got task force. They got task force in LA that come, they sit and watch. When they arrested 3 of my guys, by the time they were done booking, they had pictures from their IGs all printed out, all matching shoes, matching bikes, matching everything. And they had anything. They couldn't fight it. They could not fight it. They had to take a plea deal because you can't, if you have tattoos and they have your eyes, they have your shoes, they have their bike, you can't lie. You're done.
Yeah.
It's ain't happening. And these just want all this fame. The problem is the ego with the new kids. They think because they have a lot of views and people like it, oh, damn, did you see him run from the cops? Okay, you got away this time. You might get away the next time. Shit, you might get away 3, 4 times. But that cop will always remember you. And I'm telling you, they build enough case, they will come and get you. And who cares if they just arrest you, take your bike? Who wants to spend $4,000 to get your bike out? Even if they drop all the charges.
Right.
That's how they get you. 3 of my riders got to spend $3,800 to get their bikes out with a 30-day hold, no questions asked. And it's fucked up. Who wants to spend another $3,800?
You can buy another bike. You can buy another bike for that price, man.
Yeah, we buying them for $3,800.
Exactly.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying?
So you've seen the game change from the street bikes to now the dirt bikes. Even yourself, you got a dirt or some bike action.
I had a Motard 2009. I had a Motard, DRZ. Loved it. I wish I would have never sold it. I've got a WR now, and I love it. But the dirt bike game,
a Yamaha.
Oh yeah, Yamaha. I love it. I'm banging. The dirt bike game is funny. It's funny because when I ride in the town and all the dirt bike guys are in there, you know, they got some gangster shit. They're swerving, the swerve game. You know what I'm saying? I like it, but I'm doing all the shit I'm doing on my street bike on the dirt bike. You know what I'm saying, I'm stopping. I'm rolling some fucking stoppies. I'm banging rev limiters, scraping, all that shit, circles, doing all. And you know what I'm saying? It's a different world. I got mad respect for the dirt bike guys, but I mean, they're limited to one real trick. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to do handbrakes. They think it's whack. I'm like, all right, that's cool, but I'm rolling fucking 400 if I can on a stoppie. You guys can't even pull the front wheel, and you can't even jump on the bike. I'll jump my DRZ up some. My WR off some stairs. I'll launch that motherfucker. I ain't scared to jump my bike. I love that shit. You know what I'm saying? Your bike is made to do that. Like, you're only limited to doing the wheelies, which is tight. But launch that motherfucker over a curb and jump on some shit. Or you know what I'm saying? Like, full potential. Same with the street bikes. You know what I'm saying? Put the handbrake on it. Everything changes. We doing all kinds of shit. I don't want to just be sitting there just doing a sit-down wheelie all day. I want to play around. You know what I'm saying?
So you know, Alex, man, we would have Bullo on first before Shamar. I fuck around having fucking 6 street bikes now. I just picked up RMZ yesterday. I didn't have no dirt bikes. I didn't have no dirt bikes 7 months ago. Now I got 7.
I know. Because we had my homeboy Shamar on, and he's part of the Baltimore, Philly, DMV area. So he's part of that original dirt bike culture from Baltimore. So he's, we got the history on all of that and how that went, and dirt bikes are really easy to obtain, and especially with you, Donnie, since you're just now like. This is new to you. Dirt bikes are how I first learned on an old 1976 dirt bike, and Bullo's telling you he jumped on a dirt bike. You do that to get your shit together, get your courage together, then you get on one of these, because these, like even this is like,
you could crash.
It's
you can crash on your dirt bike and it might be a little bit of damage. You might be able to fix it. You crash your street bike, it's a wrap. You gotta spend hella money to do it. And I used to always tell people like that, oh, I want to be a stunter. Well, take off all your plastics, put a cage on, because you're going to fuck that bike up. You know what I'm saying? And if you want a dirt bike, you go backwards, you loop it out, you might fuck a fender up, you might broke a peg. Yeah. But that bike is made to eat shit. For real. Dirt bike, it really does. So if you're on the dirt bike gang, I mean, that shit is so crazy. We had 2 weeks ago on our ride, we had all the dirt bikes in the Bay Area come through. From the Oakland side to the Frisco side. We went over the bridge into Frisco, and it was like, it was manly. Like, it's wild. Like, it was just like the old times. We went to Golden Gate Bridge, Bay Bridge. We did it all.
Dude, I remember we used to only be like 7 deep, 12 deep back in the day.
Now it's like every Friday there's a ride that we go to. Everybody meets up at Sonic and goes on a ride. And now it's crazy. Before there weren't your homie from Baltimore. They're the ones who started the dirt bike game. Florida, all them, Baltimore, Philly. We only had a few of them over here. And I can tell you 5 years ago, we saw a sprinkle of a few of them that came in the game. Now, they are thick. There is so many dirt bike riders now not giving a fuck. They're out there every night, every Wednesday. We see them on 106, 98, all day. They meet up with us. But the respect level is cool because their game is a little different from us. Their game is the swerve. They take up all 3 lanes. They're going back and forth. When you're on a street bike, you ain't doing all that. You're just staying doing tricks, doing 1 lane type shit. You know what I'm saying? So I watched so many of them dirt bike guys wad themselves. I mean, one dude, like 3 weeks ago, he was on, we were on International, and we're coming up to 98th. And, in Oakland, they got the bus stations right in the middle. Yeah, and he was watching his He was looking at us. He was looking at me. And next thing you know, he wasn't paying attention. He went into that center median and flew up and did like 3 flips, bro. No helmet, nothing.
Jesus.
Landed on his back and was wounded. And I was still in a wheelie. I was like, man, I hope you're all right, player.
We keeping it moving, I'm
keeping it moving because, they're so, like you said, they're so easy to attain. Everybody's got a dirt bike now. Like everybody's banging them. Before you'd be like, oh man, I'm gonna bring my dirt bike on the street, and it's gonna be scary because the cops might come. Bro, I'm gonna tell you right now, Oakland is fucking lawless when it comes to bikes right now. Every night they ride out there. The cops don't care about shit. I'm telling you, Lex, it is like open season. You can do whatever.
That COVID status, man.
Not even the COVID. The cops. They're wheeling by the cops. They're not even tripping off us. They're not even chasing, telling us. But they are so, I think, overwhelmed with everything. They're not even, like, fuck the bike shit. We're not tripping.
Yeah, as long as you got the homelessness, you got the break-ins, you got the everything going on. Fuck them bikes.
Exactly what it is. It's like they fuck the bikes. I mean, we're over down on Broadway, riding by the cops, hanging.
Money.
And
Broadway is money.
Oh man, I'm about to get a fucking street bike now, man.
10 years ago, if you would have done this out there, you would have farms and cops everywhere. Now it's just like, who gives a crap?
That's how I learned. That's how I learned Def Jam's name was Ali, nigga.
Oh yeah.
High speed. We were stunting down the way. We getting crazy. Me and a couple of the other homeboys that had just joined Ruff Riders, but we was just like, man, fuck them, man, ride with us. And we going crazy. We going past Castlemont. I should have followed the homies. I followed Def Jam up the hill into a cul-de-sac. We had the helicopter on us. We fucked, right? So I'm like, oh, it's all bad. So we just sit there, park, police come up, they do whatever. And they're like, man, how long you known Ali? And I'm like, who the fuck is Ali, bro? And he like, so cops start laughing, and he like, you standing next to this man and you don't know Ali. I said, Def Jam? And cops started dying laughing because I guess he had pulled him over hella times. So he knew that we all called him Def Jam.
Def Jam, he had to do some time. He had to do some time. I don't know. About 2 years ago. I lost contact with him, but his girlfriend hit me up and was like, "Hey, is this Bullo? Just want to tell you, Def Jam reaching out. He's doing some time. He got in trouble on the bikes, and because we were seeing him constantly still on the weekday rides, and he disappeared. And I was like, oh, and this lady told me he went to jail over the bikes.
Yeah, he's the clown suits and the dirt bikes.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Damn, that's crazy. Yeah,
I was seeing. Like I said, you don't see. I think the few people that I know that still ride, even from the Ruff Ryder days, they're all on Harleys now, or they're not even riding. You know what I'm saying? I barely run in, or they went over to other guys on the set, to other clubs and shit.
Yeah. I've seen that. I still, because I still function with E on one wheel and everybody. So, but I've been forcing them to go drag some knee. But
is that what you're doing now? Is that what you're getting on the track now?
Yeah. So because I got that bullshit in me. I'm super competitive. Just like when you was like, nigga, you garbage. And then I would come to the lot with you all the time. I'd be out in front of my house practicing. I was trying to get good at wheelies. But I remember that I just kind of bypassed it. Because remember, you used to be like, oh, that wearing a suit is gay. That onesie shit is gay. Dragging knees in the mountains, that shit gay. And so I never really went hard on that.
It's gay. It's not that it's gay.
Yeah.
It's
I know that's how.
But you hurt yourself more on the track. I'm glad I did, because Darius, he spent 2 years on the track and he wadded himself up bad, bro, on the track. Because when you're like, he's like us, like you, like me, like him, we're competitive, and I know my competitors. I'm gonna push myself to the edge, and I'm gonna tell you right now, you crash at 140 miles an hour on that track with a suit. I don't give a fuck how you're hurt, and he hurt himself.
Bag of bone.
He hurt himself so bad he was laid up for like 4 months, and he's like, "Yo, I'm done. I can't do it," because he kept pushing himself. You know what I'm saying? And I know that's in me to push me, and I'm glad I never got into the track like that, because I would be like, "Yo, I want to come every week," and and plus you just.
That's what I'm battling. That's what I'm battling right now. I got this nice new crispy minty thing. I've done a track day or two on it. I bought hella track days in a row. Now we're in the middle of a rainstorm, right? I got a track day this Sunday. In the middle of a rainstorm.
So you went from super gay with fucking, drifting. That was your, Fast and Furious.
He's always been like this. So I still do that.
Your man dies in a car wreck. You lose your heart for drifting, or what happened? I mean, what I'm saying?
I didn't crazy. No. I still do that. My thing with drifting is just like the biking. It's kind of been social for me, right? So when I got hella homies that are with me doing it, and we're all progressing and doing shit, I'm like, hell yeah. When everybody go do different shit, and I'm by myself, I'm like, where everybody at, yo? And I still go. Like I went last night, did some shit. I was just in the streets by myself, literally before we got on here. I was in the street sliding. I do shit by myself now. But with the bike thing, I'm like, you know what? I owe it to myself because I never really got fast, right? So I had this, and I was like, this is gonna be my shit. But this reminds me so much of what I was stunting with. I just want to wheelie this shit. This is hella fun. So then now I'm like, okay, let me separate the two. I got the street track bike, and I'm gonna get back to how I was. Like, cause when you hit me that with the ride, you like, man, pop out. And I'm to myself, hell no, I'm hella weak. Like, I'm cool.
Bro, but that's what I'm saying. You should have came to the ride. Yeah, we have a bunch of girls in the back. We have a bunch of the girls in the back you could have stuck with. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh shit. Damn, you brutal, man.
Hey, no,
hey, man,
this is how he's always.
Hey, man, I can tell, right? I know a lot of guys like you, man. And I can tell, like, if you got that thin skin, man, you can't hang around you, man, because you're gonna make motherfuckers cry.
So mad. I'm so mad with the new niggas because this is the kind of shit that I was dealing with, and I don't feel a way about it. Yeah. I'll send you a video. When I first started trying to stunt, and I pulled to the lot with Bullo. Bullo was literally the camera's a potato, so you can't barely make it out, but you can see it. He like, this bike hella gay. This bike, you need to do this and that. Man, stop doing this, yelling at me, everything. And then he jumped on the bike, and then he rode it and was hitting it. And I'm like, oh, this nigga like this. And then he came back, okay, you need to do this, that. So if you get past all the harsh shit and not be butthurt, you get to the, yo, I'm going to help you out. Let's get you there. Do this. Exactly. Do that.
If I talk shit to you, If I talk shit to you, I'm making you get better. That's a funny thing. All the youngsters in the game right now, they all know me as the OG. They know. They've seen the videos, Pioneer. I talk shit. I'm going to do it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them is soft, and I know the ones that take some shit real serious, but I don't give a fuck. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Look, if I talk to you, you should be more worried if I don't want to talk to you. Yeah. There's something wrong with you that makes me not want to fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? Right. And I'm going to say straight up, if I click with somebody, is I can see it. I wish the new booty riders are like how the old cars. Now there are. The funny thing, there are a lot of the new booty riders that have come up and created a name for themselves that almost have that old school feel. They're young. Mm-hmm. I'm literally stunting with one of my friends. I just found out I'm stunting with one of my friends.
With his son.
With his son. I just ran into my he didn't even know shit. And I'm like, he's like, yeah, I got in a high-speed chase and I'm from Hayward and my dad had to come bail me out and this and that. And I was like, oh yeah, who's your dad? And he was like, and then he said his name. And I was like, oh shit, you're his son? He's like, fuck yeah. It's just wild. It's just crazy. Like, man, 26-year age gap. Yeah. I'm here with your son. Like, and that's one thing I could say. Even Darius and all them cats. Darius hasn't been on a bike.
Chops.
He can't. He ain't been out in the streets since 2009 or 10. Real talk. And I can safely say, my crew now is so big and world famous. Like, I can sit back and be like, the legacy's there. Like, it's going to be forever. My guys that are running it now are under me. Like, they took it to a whole nother level because I know I couldn't keep it going by myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, now I'm in from Washington, Oregon, LA, finally LA, and Arizona. Like, and Nevada. Like, we have all the West Coast sewed up. And it's a family of friends. Everybody gets along. It's fun. It's no fucking like, oh, I'm better than you type shit. And who cares? A lot of them are, some are. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. But it's one of the things when I started is I wanted to make sure there was a legacy. Like the big name crews like Street Fighters and Star Boys, and they're going to be around forever. Like, and my crew, I can
Lex, you still there?
Yeah, I'm still there.
Oh, you might pop back in. Oh,
yeah,
there you go. There you go. You good?
There you go. He's back. Cool.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
So,
but anyway, so yeah, I'm glad to see my shit that's gonna be remembered. That's what I'm so glad. It's like I sit back like and see, damn, look what I created. Like it's like just sitting there like it's my shit. Like this is what I created. And we have all of us in it that is gonna go on forever. It's wild.
What was dope though? What I got to watch, because like I said, I fucked with y'all, I rode with y'all, I was with y'all, with whatever was down for whatever. There's very few, and like I say, there's very few people that I follow into battle for things. Right? I fucks with a lot of people, but there's very few people that I could be like, I'm rolling with him, I'm taking his lead. But I would watch on your videos, it wasn't just always like, oh, it's all Bullo and shit. It would be Bullo segment, own segment, Chris segment. You know what I'm saying? You would highlight each of the dudes. Love would be shared. Even little squids like me popping around, I come through. If I did something clean, it would make the cut. And this is the thing that I think these youngsters got fucked up. If you did something clean, it makes the cut. You don't have to make the cut, and you don't have to don't feel a certain way about it, right?
Yeah.
It's just like
I know.
talking.
Oh my God, you
talking. Yeah, it's like, bruh, motherfucker gassed you, but I guarantee you that's my man's though. So if something go down, something fuck up, they get my bike to the crib.
The internet game has changed shit so much, bro. Like we only had YouTube. I'm the one doing all the videos. All the videos you've seen, I made. I did, and like you said, I put everybody in it because I'm like, who cares about seeing one person all the time? But now with the internet, with Instagram, Facebook, all this shit,
highlight reel.
They cry. I literally see guys fighting, crying because you didn't tag me in this video. You didn't.
Hey man, this. That sounds like Mr. Business and shit, man.
I'm like, you crybaby bitch. Yeah. I fucked around when I was getting back doing the posting. I didn't fucking tag the photographer. I didn't tag the video person. I give a fuck. I was like, oh yeah. And these guys are privately messaging me, hey man, it's not cool that you don't tag the video guy. You got to tag the video. I'm like, who the fuck are you talking to? I give a fuck. Who's telling me? I'll give credit. I mean, I'll do it now. I mean, it is.
Yeah, because it's part of the game. Yeah.
I'm like, you guys are soft. You guys are.
So you guys are the same exact mentality I do. Because this is the reason I picked up vlogging. Because I was like, if somebody sends me a dope photo, back in the day, I'd be like, oh, he wanted me to have a dope photo. Thank you. In the messaging, when he sent it to me, man, thank you. I appreciate it. That's the love, right? And then it would sit on my phone for a while. And then maybe one day next year, I'll just remember, oh, let me put this photo up. And you just post it. This day was dope. And then that motherfucker come through with a message just mad conniving and shit, and it's like, yo, my bad, cuz like I don't know, you changed your social media handle 5 times. I don't know what your new was. I just remembered to post a photo, and so that's why I started vlogging. Said, you know what, I'm gonna capture my own media. If motherfuckers send it to cool. If not, I'm doing my own fucking media, because this shit is just like, it's weird. I don't want people feeling a certain way towards me because I didn't tag you. When I see you in the track, what's up, bud? High fives, handshakes, everything, all love. But if I do something, one thing, because it only takes a millisecond to do it on Instagram to make the post, but now you butthurt forever at me? Nah, cool. Keep your photos.
Yeah, it's changed the game, because in my days, we started off, we thought MySpace and then YouTube came, and I made everything famous for us. I did the videos, I made everything, because I knew that was where it was going.
Right.
But now it's like, I can sit back now and I'm like, the thing has changed. Everybody, like I said, can wheelie now. Everybody could do a trick. Everything is this. It's honestly easy for everybody. It's made it so easy that everybody's doing it, that it's like, I guess I've lost the, like, not lost it, but I love to see new riders. I love to ride with them because I've seen it from the beginning. But I can see why some people are like, it's a wheelie. We've seen it before.
Hey, Bullo, real quick on that, man. So what would you attribute to making it so easy for guys now? Is it the bikes are cheaper, or there's more study material out there?
Honestly, funny story. In the beginning, on the West Coast, we had Alex, me, and Darius. And I can remember all the riders, like when I was meeting like Tone and BK and everybody, people in the lots. And Darius was like, "Hey man, don't tell them how to turn up the idle and put on a strap.
Don't tell the secrets of the Shaolin, man."
He's like, "Do that because then they can do it." And I'm thinking to myself, I don't give a fuck. I taught every single one of my riders how to do coasters, and I teach these kids. Like 2 weeks ago when we had our ride, and I was out in fucking Fairfield, I was like, this one kid, cool as shit, dude, CF stunts, maybe 22 years old, killing it on his F4I. And I was like, all right, so you got coasters, you're doing regular, do this. And I do like 3 tricks that he's never even seen before. And he's like, whoa. He's like, all right, I'm going to try that. You know what I'm saying? I've always been that type. I want to see people succeed. Dope. That's the problem that I see a lot about these big name riders that are butthurt because everybody's doing the same trick you're doing, player, and everybody can do it. So you try to stop everybody, but you can't stop it because everybody's seen a video, everybody's tried it. So everybody now learns to wheelie so easy because parts, technique, everything for their bike is there that can just make it. A handbrake is the number one thing to start making you learn how to wheelie. That's it. People don't even use the foot brake, only a few, and nobody even does stoppies, only but a handful, because there's no forgiving in a stoppie. You're flipping the fuck over if you don't know. You know what I'm saying? If you really can flip backwards, you stay on the bike, but you can hold on and hit the brake and save yourself. There's no saving yourself in a stoppie. That's the most deadliest, scariest trick in my repertoire, and everybody knows you flip the fuck over, it hurts. You know what I'm saying? People can loop out, but you always, I loop out, you fall on your feet or knees, you land cool. But when you do a stoppie and you're rolling it fucking fast and you go over, there's no coming back. You're flipping over, that bike's landing on top of you. It's like, and honestly, and I'll tell you right now, if you look at a lot of stunt videos in the street and all these new booty riders and everybody's other, none of them do stoppies.
No stoppies.
None of them. None, because they're scared. And I tell every week I go out with somebody, I'm like, "Where's your stoppies?" "Oh, I don't do that." I want to be able to use every brake and do everything. You know what I'm saying? It's so funny, and that's a lot of things with the OG riders and all us old school cats. Is we know the tricks, we forgot tricks that you haven't even learned yet. You know what I'm saying? It's so funny, and it's like they all want to do straight line and street shit. I love the straight line. Put them in a technical game, and you can't do both. How can you call yourself the GOAT? There's these guys that are calling them, "Oh, dude, he's a GOAT. He's killing. Street killer. Yeah, but he's not doing anything else. Like, he can't stop you. I mean, you got 3 tricks. And I'm like, I push myself and a lot of other riders to be able to do every trick possible. Not just being able to climb in and out on a wheelie at 50 miles an hour. I want to be able to go 100 and pull that fucking handbrake. Or I want to drift. Or I want to fucking do a fucking combo into a circle, rev limiter, just making shit crazy and hard like it was. It's crazy. Right. There's a lot of passive ass riders who are straight line killers, and they are killers. They're shit that I'm not doing anymore because I'm too goddamn old to climb in and out and fold myself in half. For real. And that's them. And that's them. But I can do some of that, and then I'm like, yo, let's go to the lot. Let's see what you really got. Let's do some wide, fast circles, or let's do some stoppies. And it's like, no, I'm good. I'm just doing the straight line. I'm like, to be the best, I think, is to just be able to do everything. And that's the funny thing is, like, we banged ourselves up learning everything that these guys can simply put on their bike and do. And that's the difference. But I love it though. Like I'm saying, I love being able to go on a big ride and not have to worry about, oh shit, here comes Lex with his 105 mile an hour wheelie behind me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm going to limit in 4th gear doing a wheelie.
I mean, it's a trip. It's a trip. There's so much control now, and everybody, like, on our rides, like I said, I'm looking in the back, like, I used to be paranoid as fuck, like, oh shit, somebody's gonna whap. I mean, don't get me wrong, we still get crashes. We had crashes. We had some people fuck themselves up. But it's not like it used to be. You'd have 30 riders with a group of maybe 300, and somebody's going to get taken out by somebody. You know what I'm saying? And now, like, literally what I was thinking on our ride a few weeks ago, I've never had that many people on our hood ride at night, ever, in all my years doing it. It's crazy how many people can ride now and stunt. Like, when we did our ride, it was like, I'm just looking at this like, damn. Yeah. I mean, we literally had all of 7th Street in a pack going from one end to the other, coming through there. And I swear every bike was up. And that was probably about 300 bikes. It was wild. Just bang. Right. And I'm just like, seeing it from infinite stage, like I said, to now, it's like it's never gonna get never stop. Like, I mean, everybody gets a Grom, everybody gets a dirt bike, everybody gets a street bike. It's no longer like, hey, let's go to the twisties. Everybody's like, oh, we're gonna go ride. And don't get me wrong, there are the twisties.
Bro, my son, 14, he rides this R6. This little motherfucker get on here and he's damn near tuning this shit. He want to tune the bike. I'm like, this ain't a stroke, bruh. Yeah. Like, get your fundamentals together, because because like Shamar was saying, there's hella motherfuckers that can jump on and wheelie, but they can't ride. Like, when that police chase come and that police chase is hitting for like a half an hour, you can't get away from the cops. You can't shake and move. Like, everybody trips out of my splitting lanes videos and all this other shit. I'm like, well, I learned that because we was doing a whole lot of real shit, and there's some real riding that had to take place aside from the cruising and stunting. And so it's like I'm teaching my son those things and everything, but it's just like, yeah, he wants to get just to the wheelies. I'm like, nah. And that's why I'm practicing now, because I'm like, hold on, it did something. There we go. That's why I'm practicing now, because I'm like, I got to get a little bit back to where I was. So when I start telling him I need to, just like with the drifting, I got him driving. So I show him the shit in the car first, and then I show him what it looks like outside of the car, him watching me do it. Then I'll be like, all right, get in and emulate that. So I'm trying to do the same thing with him on the bikes. But yes.
So your son wants to stunt, or does he want to race?
Nah, he's a kid, right? So he sees all this shit on Instagram. So he wants to get it popping. But I'm like, you have to be able to do it all. You know what I mean? So it's not, you can't just be one dimension. Stunning is in multiple dimensions, but you can't just be like when we was up in the Ruff Ryders, I'm like, man, you motherfuckers, let's go hit the back roads. And then out of 28 riders, everybody crashed except for 7 people. That cannot be what my son's face. You have to be able to ride this thing. And then, like, dog, simply when you taught me how to do the shit, pulling your hands off the bar and let the bike idle, bust U-turns with the idle, I would go up to the DMV lot and do the circle on idle, with the thing. And then it got to the point where, shit, that was, you didn't even know when you practiced it so much that it became second nature. If a cop on you and you go bust a U on the island real quick, bam, and back up the other way, because the bike ain't gonna lean over, it ain't gonna fall. You just know it's gonna be whap, give it a little bit of throttle.
Hey, that's the thing, learning how to use that bike to its full potential, because well, you're gonna need it in the street for real. And it's crazy because I see guys that are like, okay, like you said, there's like how your son's talking about just jumping on the bike and let's wheelie. But now I see more guys, because the cop game is so crazy. I think a lot of cats do learn how to ride quickly and learn how to get out and know how to get away. And you know what I'm saying? Like, I really don't see a lot of crashes like I used to. Like, it's crazy. Yeah. Like, I think people really take it to another level of like, you got to be one with that bike. And I love it. You know what I'm saying? It's fucking dope to be able to say, hey, I can jump on there and I know that I'm not going to fucking ride with somebody next to me who's going to fucking run right into me. Not saying that they don't, but you know who want to ride. And most of those people don't even come onto the rides. You know what I'm saying? It's so thick with bikes and stunters. You don't want to be that asshole. You really don't.
Yeah.
Now it's like
it's a bad feeling, yeah.
Yeah, our ride is a stunt ride, and it's straight up. And a lot of stunt rides I see now, that's the first thing they say. This is a stunt ride. If you want to go on a little cruise ride with your boys, this ain't it. This is going to be fucking all the bikes on these don't show. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it is. And that's the dope part about it, is like, we're seeing more of groups that are segregated as in, hey, that's a stunt ride. I'm not going to go with that. You know what I'm saying? Because before, if you were a stunner and you showed up at one of those rides at like in Frisco, they'd be like, who are you? Why are you wheeling all the time? What's this? The hater, like that bar front.
Oh, the bar front. Yeah, I was just about to say, they hated you. They called you out, the little asshole on the such and such, the wheelies everywhere.
And I'm like, oh man, those internet days, like, you make us look bad. I'm like, but hey man, we were in the twisties and 3 of your guys were speeding and wrecked into another car. What the fuck are you talking about me? I'm just doing a wheelie. Yeah. You don't have control. You're speeding around going 95 in a turn and you just went head on with a car. But you're worried about me doing a little wheelie at 30 miles an hour on the street? Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, motherfucker. Them speedster, and that's where I think the beefing has stopped because it's separated. Now those rides, none of us go over there. Before it was like, oh, I got my bike, I'm going every ride I can see. And then you got the Motard guides in Frisco. They're cool, and their ride has a little bit of wheelies and a little bit of shit, but they know they're not coming on a big ride. And if any of their riders want to come, they're going to be stunters. Everybody knows
they're going to adapt.
Yeah. Every West Coast Connection ride, they know it's going to be a stunt ride. It's not, hey, let's ride single file line, like, you know, and put our kickstands down at the same time type. You know, it ain't that. You know what I'm saying? It ain't
that Hollywood shit, man.
Yeah, and that's kind of, so that's why I play on both fences, like with the car thing. I grip and I drift, right? And then I go play in the street. So I mess with 3 different cultures of the car scene. And then the same thing with the bike stuff. I'm trying to get back to some wheelies. I do track days and I play in the streets. So I try to dip in all the cultures so I can at least have my face shown. They'd be like, no, he's legit. He's cool. He's this, he's that. But I need to know that experience. I don't want to just be like, oh, them over there, they this type of people. I don't fuck with them because I do this. Like, that's trash. Like, that to me is like, when you first pick up one of these motorcycles, dude, the day my girl picked me up to take me to Yamaha Concord to pick my bike up, and I got on that bike, it was the exciting part about rolling it out the showroom floor. It's brand new. It's 0 miles. It's those first smells that you hear the bike that you smell on a bike. But when you got on the freeway and you looked at the ground and you looked at the sky and you looked at the big rig next to you and said, nigga, I'm only in control right here. Everything else is passing by me. That was a whole thing where it's like, all right, this is different. So I got love for anybody. That's why I was like, people, we saw Elise. Elise is the one that crossed by us. So he's like, oh, light-skinned broad on a bike. What's shaking? And we went and followed her because it's like, yo, when you see people on motorcycles, it's like, what's up? What's up? That's why I hate the people when you shoot them to 2 and they don't. Be like, I fuck you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's supposed to be Harley, Motard, Cruiser, sport bike, anything. You know,
it should be. It should be that way. It really should be.
Yeah, so here's the $100. Here's the $100 million question, the golden one of the hour. You say you're 46 years old. I have a lot of injuries from a lot of shit. Half of this shit, bro, I'd be like, nope, I ain't trying nothing. How are you keeping yourself limber enough to jump on these bikes and still do most of this shit?
Honestly, bro, I pay for it. Real talk, when I go to stunt sessions, like, I've taken care of I've been blessed, I'll say, in the last 3 years. I've really taken care of my body, changed my whole way of living, like healthy wise, working out. But my body is banged up beyond belief. I got major issues with my body. So when I go on these rides, like I'm going to be going to the Ride of Legends next in about 2 weeks down in LA. I'll ride. I still have the mentality of the 25-year-old stunner. I'll go out there and ride harder than these youngsters. And I forget I'm old because I've always been that way. And I tell you, I come home and I'm in bed for about 3 days, real talk. Popping soaking. I'm in bad shape. But see, here's what it is my mentality and the way I've been stunning since day one. And you see me, Fresno, I never got off my bike when we were stunting fucking the stunt bike. Never. I will never get off because I want people to know that, oh, Bullo still got it. He's still out there. He's still doing it. And even the youngsters see me. They're like, man, don't you get tired? Don't you get... I was like, in my mind, I don't tell them this, but I'm like, in my mind, I'm not going to let you see me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And look tired and old. Are you fucked up? I'm not like your dad who used to ride with me.
Yeah.
I'm trying to stay as young. And honestly, I think I can still go probably another hard into it, another maybe 6 years. And I'll still go on the rides and play around. But I know when I get about probably 55, 60, I probably won't be able to really, but I'll still try. But if I break my hip and shit, and I'm in a walker type shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But ain't it the dopest shit? Yo, the wives keep the best secrets. Because I know I be out here going hard in the hills with the young boys. We went and hit up Alice's, all this shit. You'll never know. I'm rushing to the house because my ankles hurt like crazy. All the gear shifts, all the, everything. And my back hurt or whatever. And you big armored a warrior in the streets. When you get home, and be like, baby,
oh yeah, you like crawling around and shit.
Water and some Tylenol.
I ride and I can't even pick up my baby boy. He's 3 years old. Like that's like last year, getting really back into it. Like when he was 1, I'd be so beat up from riding just 3 days from an event and just in pain, bro. Like God. But now I think I took not really a break, but I wasn't riding as much. Now I know keep on riding, keep on going into it. I mean, before I used to have strong ass forearms. I wouldn't have. Now I ride, my forearms would be pumped.
The arm pump, yeah.
Oh my God, I'd be like, I can't even pick up a book. You know what I'm saying? But now I've changed it all up. Like I said, in the last couple of years, I've really changed my whole healthiness. Trying to. I mean, I take so many goddamn vitamins and pills a day. Like, I mean, you know, and I'm trying not to take.
Yeah, man. So you said. You said 55, man, but the way this new tech going, man, you might be fucking Willie in the 70s still, man.
Like, I know he might get some new technology.
Elon Musk shit.
Right? Shit. Let me see.
Yeah.
But no, I know, and fish a lot too. So you catch all. You don't.
I'm out and about, outdoorsy. I'm doing everything, dog. I'm not. I mean, the golden years, to be honest. You know, my 20s and 30s were fucking wilding out and do what I can, but I want to be able, like I said, keep a legacy and people know. And that's one of the great things is that there's a lot of guys who faded off. And I'm one to say that as an OG in the game, and there's maybe about 10 of us still to this day, that I can go to an event and people are going to know who I am. Or I could travel the country, even worldwide. Like it's so dope that it's like, you know, in the beginning, when I was watching these guys on the DVDs and shit, I'm like, oh, I'm going to be like that.
Right.
It wasn't until years later, they're my friends. And they're like, yo, they're like, these were my idols. And now I'm their idols, or I'm still riding and they're maybe not. Or it's like, it's so dope to see that and to feel that. Or I'm running into their kids on the street like, yeah, my dad used to ride with my dad and this and that. And it's like, that's what I don't want to give up. And I know I'll never give it up unless something horrific happens to me. And I'll be real. I try not to ride the streets like I used to. Like, I mean, I'm going to put it this way. How busy and crowded California is in the Bay Area.
A ton. Yeah.
You have to ride your bike at 6 a.m. every day to work. You are increasing your chances of getting fucking backed into. Let's be real. It's too crowded. I don't want to do it. So I try not to ride the nights anymore unless it's only on a Friday when we do the night ride. And I love it because it's, you know, it's still doing what we're doing, but you increase your chances. At nighttime too, fuck. Them motherfuckers don't give a fuck. Motherfuckers are blowing stop signs in Oakland.
Yo, they're high now. They on the phone setting up plays, go and run get a bitch or do whatever.
Dog, I got a video, real talk, about 4 months ago. I am fucking wheeling by 101st or 96th, and I'm doing a rev limiter coaster, almost by like my Wicked Wheels used to be at. Rev limiter coaster coming in. I stop right there at the street. Right, this dude across from me in the right lane or the left lane runs the light, gets hit into a car. The car spins around. I'm literally bringing the wheelie down, and I fucking turn to the right, dude. It's all on film too, and like I fucking shoot out, like just crazy shit out of the weirdness shit. And he's trying to get away because he just hit this other cop. So I turn over to the right to get out of the way, and he slams it in gear and almost chases me down, like just trying to get away. And I'm like, man, crazy. And that's when I was like, I told my boy out here on my team, I was like, all right, it's time to go. I was like, man, I'm not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't fuck around. If I have anything now on anything wrong with my bike or I'm feeling, I'm like, I'm not going. Because there's so many times that I've had that feeling and I didn't do it and I got fucked up and I didn't do shit. It's always that. If I feel a certain way, it's like, I'm good, bro. I ain't got nothing to prove. I'm just not feeling it. Because there's been so many times that my accident happened with my leg or when I crashed on the Bay Bridge and fucking almost flew off. Like,
fuck.
You know what I'm saying? That video's on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that day, I knew my bike was fucking up, but I'm like, nah, I'm still going to go and ride. I got to do it. And literally, because it was shutting off, I should have fucking not been riding. That motherfucker shut off and flung me into the fucking wall.
I was strapped. Yeah.
I was strapped.
What was that, 15 or 16? What year was that?
2014 or 15, maybe. 15. No. 2000 and It's 2008, 9, 10. It was 2012. 2012.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I remember.
It's on YouTube. Just type in Bullo's crack on the Bay Bridge, bro, and it's fucking like, and it's just like I'm saying, it's like I should have fucking not went out, but because everybody's riding, and I'm like, I gotta get out there, I gotta go, and that motherfucker, that was one of those things. Now,
yeah.
Hey, I got that sixth sense. I'm like, oh shit, is that cramp really gonna be there for a while? Yeah, I'm not gonna go.
Yeah. You drink kind of water the day before, trying to prep your body for it.
You know what I'm saying? I don't have nothing to prove, and that's what I love about it. Motherfucker, even my youngsters on my team, Bullo, you in the ride, I'm like, nah, I'm good. Yeah. And I tell them, that's exactly like what happened to with 3 of my guys going down. I was like, guys, don't go down to Inland Empire and ride that ride. No, man, kill it. Next thing you know, now they're fucking 15,000 in the hole, lost their bikes, 2 felonies. I'm like, yo, they are looking for stunters. Why would you go and ride in a city that has a task force looking for stunters? And half the guys from down there didn't even go on the ride the next day because it was too hot. They were like, well, my boys want to fucking show out. I'm like, when you have to pay that money, you'll figure it out. I ain't got nothing. I'm like this. I'll go. I like to travel. I told my wife, I'm like, I'll jump on a plane. I'll go out there to party and kick it with everyone because I want to still be in the scene. Even if I'm not riding, I want to come hang out with all the boys and even the new riders. And that's what I've done in the last year. I went to Houston, you know what I'm saying, twice. I'm like, I want to go where it's happening to where I'm still in the loop. And I don't care if I'm on a bike or not. I really don't, because it's a lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? It's still that shit, like that vibe. You know what I'm saying? Even though I'm not. And it's just something I'll love, and I will always love. You know what I'm saying? I'll always do it. Even if I'm not riding, I'll still fly out with my boys to see my boys ride that are younger than me. Everybody in my crew is younger than me. They're like in their 20s and 30s now. And I'm like, we're bringing more people in new, because I know the next generation is going to get tired and not do everything, but we're all still going to be in it. I got guys that are retired from it, but they're still part of the crew, and they might fly out and do this and that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not like, oh, you guys got to ride, or you got to come to this. Nah, dude. Everybody's got their lives. Everybody has their fun. We've had our glory days. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing about it. Is the memories can never be taken away, because they'll always be with us. And I make new memories now, and the new guys make their memories. And I'm just glad that I'm still accepted in the scene, to be honest, that I'm still known and still remembered, because I don't want to be that fucking 50. It's like that guy that's 50 years old going in the nightclub. You're like, God, who's dad?
Hey, speaking of that, I wanted to ask you, Bullo, on that, like, have you ever been in a situation where maybe you're in an area where like some people like don't really know who you are, and they just like popping off like, yeah, man, I got this bike, that bike, and I do this, and you just like, yeah, that's cool, man. Have you ever had one of those moments?
Like asking me if I'm that guy?
No. Like they over here capping to you, telling you that they could do this,
and
do that.
You like, yeah, sounds good.
And they don't know who you are, but like I get that shit a lot in the car scene.
Oh, I've had that happen.
Hey, go on and share a story on that, man. That shit's always funny.
Oh, I mean, I've had a story, a crazy story in my Ruff Ryder game, that I literally rolled up to a gas station, right? And I didn't have my vest on, didn't have nothing on.
Yeah, unmarked.
And basically, I'm just on, and this guy comes rolling up, and he's like, "Oh shit, I like that bike, yeah." And he starts talking, and he's like,
always.
"Yeah, man, I'm trying to be in the Ruff Ryders, and I'm learning how to stunt and everything." And he goes, he's talking to me, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, oops, sorry, hold on a second, whatever." He goes, I'm getting into stunting. I got this, I got that, and you guys still see me?
Yeah, good.
Yep.
Something happened?
Yep, got you. We got you.
So, and I'm pumping the gas, and he's talking to me, and he's like, "Yeah, man, and I got this guy named Bullo. He's teaching me how to stunt. Like I've seen."
Oh god.
And I was like, "Oh yeah, I heard of that dude." He's like, "Yeah, man, he's a Ruff Ryder, and he's killing it. Yeah, man, I hope to stunt and ride that." And you know what? I didn't tell him who I was, bro. I didn't do it. I was like, "Oh, that's tight, man. Okay, cool, bro. Like, well, I hope you make it, man. I hope you see it out there." And
dude.
I never seen him. And that was one of the most craziest fucking things that's happened to me like that. As far as going to other places, I've never really had like dudes like tell me everything. I usually at an event, people know who I am. I've never had some showboat. I would love to, and I would love to be like, oh man, I do this and I did. Besides that, dude, I've really never had anybody because everybody's like, oh man, that's Bullo. Then it's you know what I'm saying, which I really wish I did get some shit like that because I would, you know, Lex, you know my mouth. I'll be, motherfucker, what are you talking about? I will give it to you. But yeah, I've never had some shit like that. That's the funny shit. Well, I wish I did though.
Right. The reason I asked that, man, because we like Millennial Lex doing a bunch of podcasts, man. It's like when you're on the airplane, right, and you sit next to some lady. She had, like they're not in the group. They don't know about the culture and everything. They don't know who they sit next to, and everybody. And it's cool because everybody on the plane got one guy's a doctor, one guy's a fucking a professional poker player. Whatever, man. It's like they don't know they sitting next to a dope ass cat who does crazy shit.
Now that shit I've had. I've been on airplanes where I've talked to people next to me, and they're always like, "Oh, where are you going? What do you do?" And they're like, "Oh, you know, I ride motorcycles and I do this and that." And I'm like, "Oh, really? Are you one of those assholes who fucking does wheelies?"
Yeah. Like, nah.
You're like,
yeah, that shit. And then I'm like, yeah, that's me. Yeah. It's like, oh, I've had that. Now that I've had happen on the airplane, I'm like, fuck. Here I'm talking to like,
and you got 6 more hours of flying.
And I'm like, and then it's like, well, and I'm like, no, well, you know, we do slower stuff. No, I see a lot of people. They're just assholes. They don't take. And I'm thinking, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Take up the lane. Yeah.
That's it's like the lady the other week wearing Alice's, you know, we're blasting and we know what we're doing is what we're doing. So when she pull up and say, you know, you guys are riding like a pack of cunts. And I'm like,
huh?
Whoa.
Yeah. I'm not going to argue with you because we are, you know what I'm saying? But it's just like, all right, it's like, go away.
Yeah. I mean, you see a lot of it. It sucks because there's been some shit that's happened in the past couple of events where, you know, cars are driving, they don't know how to act, and something happens, bump into a bike, and they, you know, they're beating the shit out of the fucking driver or jumping in the car. And it's like, I tell these drivers, I'm an advocate for the people driving because you are the dumbasses doing all the dumb shit in front of everybody because you want to do a circle at an intersection and you get and somebody bumps into you or something. You're the dickhead. Why is it?
What was that? Was that dude in Texas that they fucked up his Explorer, and now they're trying to buy him another joint?
That was not Texas. It was Ride of Legends. It I'm not Ride of Legends, but ROC. It was in
St. Louis, the Midwest. Yeah. So they fucked this shit up, and then fools was like, "Yo, chill."
Yeah, and it was fucked up because this is an old dude, and he didn't understand what was going on. He was just driving normal, and this fucking punk ass motherfucker on a Grom decides to stop in front of him and do a circle while he's driving at the intersection on a green light, and he hits him. Dude had a gun on him, pulls out a gun on this old man, and then they all wild out on his car. Do you know that people for the ride and everybody who was for the driver, they started to GoFundMe, got him a new car. His daughter came up, and everybody apologized, and you know, and she could have took it to a whole nother level, and she was just like, you know, my dad's old. He didn't understand what was going on. He didn't deserve that. And absolutely he did, bro. And that's the same gun who ended up fucking shooting himself or some shit. Like, it was just dumb shit. It's just people want to shine. They want to shine and they fuck shit up. But yeah, he didn't even, nobody knew that on that ride. And like, he was just wilding out. Fools had to take a gun from him and just stupid.
Okay, man. Yeah, I saw those videos too. Okay, yeah, so I know. Yeah.
Man,
it's wild,
crazy, man.
It's sometimes it's lawless. Like, that's why
I've always been that type. Like, we're on a ride, I'm like, yo, let the cars pass, let them go.
Yeah.
That old lady in that car, she's freaking out because we're cutting lanes and driving around. Just let her go. Like, what's our rush? There's no rush. I don't want to see some lady crash with a kid in the back because that's what's going to happen if you keep doing some dumbass shit. God forbid. Like,
but it's weird because we know that you. I mean, this is saying because I'm not in a bike. I don't pretend to be in a street bike world, but it's etiquette. Like back when I used to, I've been in the game 25 years now with the car shit, and I got 5 kids now, and I'm retired now. But it's like when we hit the highway, we fucking take the shoulder and shit. And like back when I was like early 20s, I wasn't thinking about that's a that's a lady and a kid in the car. I was just like, we
Yeah.
mobbing out. And I get older. I'm like, man, now I'm like, I was doing that wild ass shit, and luckily nobody
like,
crashed.
There's those kids in the back roads up there, in Redwood and Pine, and I go up there, and they're going hard like it's a racetrack. They will go from this edge of dirt, cross the yellow line to this edge of dirt. In the turns, they're race lining a 2-direction road with corners, which is insane to me. So when me and my boy go up there, we chase them, but we stay in our lane, and then they be like, fast single laning, and we're like, yeah, because if you come across that and you don't happen to, like, it's low light, but you can't see the headlights of an oncoming car, and you haven't, it's over with. And I got homeboys that have accidentally killed people in cars, and they did some time on it and everything, but it's a thing on your conscience that, because all in all, we're playing, right? We're playing with these bikes.
Right.
We're playing in an arena that isn't fit for us to play in, but we find a way to maneuver it and make it happen. And it's like, kind of got to know, okay, I'm going to give up this one. Go ahead. You good. And then you continue on right after that. It's like, ain't no trophies in this shit. This is all for the sport of it, for the leisure and entertainment. And it's like, sometimes in these streets we kind of take we forget that we don't own this shit. We're not in a protected environment, and sometimes you just gotta be.
I just watched this kid last week. They sentenced him. He's 18 years old in Florida, and he was drag racing in Florida, and he killed a lady and a toddler.
Oh yeah,
and
he
got 24 years.
Yeah.
24 years they gave that kid. And I was like, and I'm thinking to myself, it is crazy. I mean, most of the time if we're on a bike and some shit happens, we're the ones that's gonna die.
We're fucked, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But in a car, you can really fuck somebody up and kill them in a car. And the way you guys play the street, some of y'all, I mean, it's like you said, I've seen they drifting over the yellow line, coming around a blind turn, and you ain't got nobody else. If you ain't got scouters in front of you, you really playing Russian roulette. And I know people we don't care. Who cares? I'm like, yeah, but you say that until you get 24 years for fucking killing somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like,
they throw and they do, like you said, they'll go. You're going to sit there, and then they're going to build a case on you. They're going to go through all your social media. You can't wipe shit. Once it's up, it's up on the internet. They find it. They get it. It is applied to your case, and then your sentencing gets real harsh. So it's, you kind of got to tiptoe the lines, man, and be responsible with it. I mean, I understand play the game, but that's why I'm at the track equally as much as I'm in the streets. I ride the fence on it. I can't, when people be like, oh man, fuck track dudes, that shit whack, or guys are like, oh man, fuck the streets, that shit whack, and I be like, on both ways, because it's like I play the fence, but it's like I try to mitigate, like,
hey Lex, do what the fuck you want to do, man.
That's literally how we do it, right? That's literally how we were raised to do it. We do what the fuck we want to do, how we want to do it. Yeah. But then as we get older, we've seen a lot of shit happen. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We've seen it. I was just riding in the back rows of Milton, and Milton had a big accident where all his organs got pulled out of his body because they had to reconstruct some shit, right? But you've seen things happen to him, and you be like, yeah, I don't want that to happen. Like Bullo was just saying, like, it's real. So my driving position is a little too far back for what we do in the cars, right? But this is how I feel comfortable riding. So my shoulders are fucked up because of how I control it. I don't like power steering, so I have a really weighted wheel. My shoulders are fucked up. There's been times where I was driving so much, and I come home and I can't pick my daughter up. I gotta, hold her to the body. Shoulders hurt so bad I can't like pick her up and do shit. Then I'd be like, yeah, I'm getting mad. Oh, yo, it was like, that shit. Like, all right, I gotta change something.
Yeah, man. Hey, Bullo, real quick, man, because I don't want to hold you too much longer, man. This shit's been awesome, man. I just been soaking up all this knowledge. Like you mentioned, the DJing and everything, man. So has music always been a part of your deal, or you just picked it up recently?
Nah, so it's a funny thing. When I went to Texas, I was clubbing hard. Like, I loved it. Got some turntables, and I was playing around with it. And I had turntables. I was like, oh, yeah, this could be tight. And then, little behold, DMX Ruff Ryder video comes out. I'm on a bike. I'm like, fucking turntables. I'm gonna go strictly with bike shit. so I put those away. I end up moving back to California. I bring the turntables with me. Still don't touch them. I was like, all right, fuck it. So
you mean you had actual vinyl turntables or the CD joints? Yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah. Straight turntables.
Okay.
And I didn't even think about touching them again. And it wasn't until like 2009, 2010. Yeah, it was 2010. And I had slowed down from the riding. My wife was, we're getting our lives together, doing our thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm slowing down the riding a little bit. Got the boys riding. Everybody's still riding. But I didn't. I was like, I'm going to slow down a little bit. 2010 comes and Knack gives me this MacBook. And I'm like, all right, this is cool. And I just so happened to download an app on their iDJ just to play around. And I'm like, oh, this is cool. This is fun. And I'm just playing around, mixing music. I'm like, oh shit. Next thing you know, I'm just practicing on this computer for fucking every day. And I'm like, okay, fuck it. And somebody goes, hey, you want to DJ at this bar? Just fucking around. And I'm like, all right. And I go and DJ off this computer at the bar, and I'm like, oh shit! Yeah. And I got paid.
Clicks.
I'm like,
yeah.
I'm like, all right. So that led, I got that laptop. Then I got a controller, and then my son is born, and I'm like, my wife's in nursing school, and I'm like, all right, I need to make some money because she can't work all the time, and she's in nursing school. So I'm like, fuck it, DJing. Next thing you know, I'm working. I'm going full bore into the DJ game, and pretty much not even really riding because I'm working, occasionally riding, not really much at all, to be honest. Because I sell some of my bikes to help us go through nursing school and take care of rent and everything. So I really wasn't riding for like 3 years, 2.5 years, and the DJing supported everything I needed to do and put us in nursing school. Now my wife's a nurse. So now it's like I've been DJing back again from 2011 to the present day. And it's like...
And you used to be one of the first DJs going live on... it was funny because back in the day, I used to see you pop in on Facebook. You'd be doing the bars or whatever. And you'd be live. I'd be like, oh, this fool doing the DJ thing.
Man, I was before COVID, dog, was making real good money. I made a lot of money DJing and going live. Like I was telling you, Lex, like literally after this, I'm about to go live. I'm getting paid on TikTok to DJ now.
That's tight.
Definitely, we'll get your stuff and throw that in the links too, man, so people can check it out, man.
Yeah, definitely. So like that's my and it's funny because even now I'll go to these events and I'll have like, all right, we'll ride, we'll go to the bars, and I'm now like critiquing when I walk in the bar. I'm like, oh, look at that DJ.
The music
Yeah,
and my boys are like, "Come on."
Yeah, the reason I asked Max, I'm a beat maker, man. So that's why I asked Max. So I'm an MPC guy, so I got a bunch of MPCs over here in the studio and everything. So I've been making beats since about '99, man. So I don't DJ, I just make beats. And everything.
Yeah. I used to do FL Studio Fruity Loops.
Oh yeah,
I used to make a lot of mixes.
I still got FL. So you call it Fruity Loops, so your OG, you call it Fruity Loops. And the cast now called FL Studio. Yeah.
And everybody says FL. And I'm like, that's Fruity Loops.
That's Fruity Loops, yeah.
But I got Logic now. And so, I just do my own remixes and shit. But yeah, like, so the music thing is like, now I get both worlds. Like next year in May, we're doing a dog show and we're stunning and I'm DJing. Like, I've done a lot of those events where I'm DJing and stunning now. Like, it's dope. It's like I get to do both things I love. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah. It's honestly, now I got a bunch of bikes. I'm back riding, got a bunch of bikes, and the DJing helps and it pays for things. And I'm happy. I'm finally like, oh man, now I get to venture out a little more and do more travel.
Nah, man, you earned it, man, and that's why I think a lot. I mean, you've been 46, man. I'm 38, and Lex keep his age a secret, man. But it's like,
no, I'm 40. I just turned 40.
Yeah. People be like, man, when they hit you with that must be nice shit. It's like, yeah, motherfucker, it is, because we went through a lot of shit to get where you were to today. So it is nice to be able to do for your family and buy what you want to buy, and because there was times where I couldn't buy that Turbo Kid or whatever the fuck. Now I got 38 whatever cars, and it's like, yeah, man, it's nice. It's nice.
Bro, I sold all my bikes. I sold every single one of my bikes to survive. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I knew shit would come back, and now I'm back. We struggled.
Yeah.
I hustled my ass off to do what I do, and I thank God I got back into DJing because I was making loot, and it took care of everything. You know, those days I can say that, you know, and now it's just a hobby, and I get paid at it, and it's fun. It's kind of like how I used to make money stunt riding, and now it's like now I'm just doing both and having fun, and it's kind of like, you know, you get those high peaks in your life. We're in the 20s, we're raging, we're doing everything, traveling, spending money, fucking buying whatever we want, and then we flatline for a little bit. And now I'm like almost like gonna say I'm in my golden years of where I can just full pace and have fun with everybody, still ride, DJ, venture out, travel, and like I live one day at a time, like doing the riding and the DJing. Like if something's popping up and I can make it happen, I'm gonna go to it. You know what I'm saying? Or if I can fucking go DJ somewhere, I'm gonna do that. So I'm really blessed to be able to say I can do both things and still fish too and travel and do that.
Yeah, this fool be out there fishing. Yeah, I was having a conversation with a guy.
Commercial fishing, and that's my next one now. Like I got bikes, I got my DJ shit. Now we're looking at a boat and a trailer, and like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna be gray haired running around DJing on the back of a camper with my fucking bike on.
Yeah, dude.
That's what's up. Yeah,
all
I was
of
in
it.
a conversation with a guy at the track, and I was like, damn, because I just turned 40 that week, I think, and I was talking, and then I was like,
this was like 5 years ago. It was about 5 years ago.
I was born in 81, baby boy. Yeah, no, but it was like, fuck, dude. I've played my whole life. Like I've paid all my bills because I lived on my own since I was 15. Not out of like because I got kicked out of nothing, but Pops just had a second house and was like, "Here, blood, go do your thing." And it's just like, man, I've been paying bills since then, but I've been playing my whole life, and I've lined everything up in a way that I could still go do whatever the fuck I wanted to do. And I was like, yo, there's a peace of mind in that when. You know, like some people say, oh man, if you enjoy what you do with your job, it's not work. Like I get that. Sometimes we might not have graduated college or did whatever streamlined thing that put us right in something, but we might have found something that made it happen for us, that made our hobbies come to life 24/7.
Yeah.
And that kind of shit is like, you know, like
case in point with the bike shit, man. Yeah. I mean, I'm 38 and I just got. I mean, I ain't had no fucking bike ever in my life other than BMX bikes, Diamondbacks and shit. And I was like, yeah, I actually got money in the bank, and the dude was selling a bike for $35. I bought that CR 125, and again, flash forward, I'm buying an RMZ fucking 450 yesterday
on an accident.
Yeah, so it's like,
but ain't that the dopest shit though? Like when it's not what's on your brain, because like that track car, that RX-8, wasn't on my. Just said on it, and I'm like, let me see it. I go see it and say, damn, I kind of do want it. Let me go to the bank, get you some money here. You know what I'm saying? Just be able to do that is a blessing. Like we're able to pull in the lives that we want, and then we get the most out of it. So it's like, I think it's pretty dope. And so then that's what I wanted to ask you, Bullo. So what do you want, or what do you think would this thing is going to evolve to, the bike life thing? Because now it's literally a phrase, bike life. But you know, the stunt riding, street riding, to be exact.
Street riding, the dirt bike life, all that is the biggest it's ever been on the street. And honestly, that's the only place I see it going. There's not any competitions. There's never going to be any competitions again. Nobody cares about that shit. And honestly, because of social media, they get more clout riding in the street than they would in 10 hours in a parking lot with somebody on a competition. They tried to put a competition and it failed miserably. Nobody cares. I don't care. I really don't. I really don't care about a gun competition. And people see it. you get more clout for a wheelie in the street than you do in a technical trick in a parking lot. And that's why there'll never be a competition.
Yeah, like they still do it in Europe and shit. And I watch those dudes and I'm like, damn, that's tight. But when you look at their views versus somebody just fucking chopping it on the street for ages, they get way more.
And they're jealous. They're jealous of us because they could never have what we have in the streets. That's what's always been the lure for the Europeans. They're the best riders in the world. They're the most technical best riders in the world. But they don't get no street game like us because out there, you'll get shot in the street, you'll get run off, you go to prison for life. Mm-hmm. We have so good, and they could never imitate. And that's where I think it's branched off because before it was us idolizing European riders and so many competitions out here, but now we don't have that. There's none, absolutely none, because nobody cares about competitions. Everybody wants to street ride, and the opposite on the European side is they're nothing but competitions. That's all they do. But they invite all the big name street riders back in the days over there, and because that's what it was about. So now it's like that's where I see it. I see it as just staying in the street forward. Maybe eventually somebody coming through with a real legit stunt spot, you know what I'm saying, for people to ride. But even that, I don't think so, because people love the attention. People want the likes. People want the follows. People want the fucking high-speed chase that's going to get them so many videos.
Right.
And that's the mentality of it. That's the mentality. Everybody's posting the same video on the street, every rider, because they get the most likes. And that's where it's going to be. That's where I know it's going to be, because they had a chance to bring back some competitions and they failed miserably, and they won't do it again because nobody cares. It's not like when we do competitions and people show up, it'd be hundreds and thousands of people
everywhere at XDL when it first started.
Yes. Nobody. Why would you pay to go to see it?
Yeah, because it's like you got everything. You see everything on this phone right here. You can just go on a toilet watching stunts and shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's crazy.
The internet.
Do you watch? Yeah, speaking of the internet, do you watch any of the YouTube guys? Brian636, Dank Wheelie.
I know. I watch some of their stuff if it flashes on my screen, but I don't search them out on the internet and watch shit. Right. I don't watch any of that anymore. I mean, honestly, there's a few tricks that I think are super dope that people do, but I like
the combo kids. What did the combo kid do? Just do double head frag.
Turner 13. Yeah. Artistberg is dope because he's on. He's motarding. He's doing tricks on a motard that nobody's ever done. So that's why I'll watch this shit. He's wild and crazy. But as far as street fight stunts, nah, man, I've been in there. I've seen it all. Like, I don't care about it.
Do you check in on Jason Britton every once in a while?
I don't talk to that dude. I've never.
Oh, really?
Nah. He came up to he was up in Washington a few weeks back, but yeah, he's just nah. I'm not. Whatever.
Say no more. Fair enough.
Say no more,
yeah. Well, I hear that, man. Yeah. Well, I like I was telling Donnie, man. This one is because how he's jumped into the bike thing with the dirt bikes. I've been telling him the whole time. I was like, nah, where I first even started out had me in front of my house practicing wheelies every day, bro. I was like, it was because of Bullo. And I was like, I never got to the point where it was like, okay, I'm gonna do what I did. You weren't there that day. When I was practicing circles and I was fucking around with no helmet, and I was practicing circles and my stupid ass stalled on idle, I was getting the U-turn around a manhole at a Clawwitter, and I would get the U-turn and I was like, bro, why can't I just connect it? So I kept trying, kept doing it. So I stopped for a minute and I was feeling saucy. I'm like, well, I can bust the U-turn. I was like, it's only going to be a mere second before I connect a full circle. And then some of the dudes from 5150 came in, and I wanted to show off. So I pull it up to get it on idle, and I go and dip the shit in to go around that manhole, and I stalled it. And my nose hit the windscreen, and it ripped my nose off my upper lip.
Oh, nice.
That shit was so funny, bro. I had a chrome windscreen. I had a chrome windscreen on my R6 at that point, and my teeth had hurt, like my upper lip had hurt, but I was like, oh, I'm all right. But when I went down to pick the bike up and I saw hella blood drop, and I looked in that windscreen and I saw I had a whole blood mustache, and when I went like this, the center of my nose lifted up from my lip. I said, oh my God. Def Jam told me to tie something around my face and drive home. But I think that was at the point I said, you know what, this last shit ain't for me, because I didn't have the shit on lock, and I went to go show it off to somebody and fuck my face up. So I was like, oh, I'm cool with just being able to be like the guy riding a bike that looks like he hits canyons, and then when somebody say lift it, I could do idle wheelies or shit from a dead stop at the stoplight. Like that was the peak for me. Like I was great. Seat standards, yeah, that was it. That was all I got. But I was like, you know, Bullo pushed me to do it. So when I was telling Donnie all these bike stories, it's like, nah, I gotta get on it.
Yeah, he mentioned you a bunch, man. So
don't nobody really, and you know, like I said, I've known you since like 03, 04. Don't nobody know shit about you. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, don't nobody know shit about Bullo, you know?
Just keep it on, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, that's cool. It's kind of like, you know, one of the mysterious characters get to pop out from the shadows on the video game. You see who it actually is and learn a little bit about it. So, man, I hella appreciate it. And, you know, like I said, my son, he's riding now, and it's like I'm trying to keep him on the fundamentals first, just handle the bike, maneuver the bike, be able to, you know, just the simple fact of if the bike fall over, still having a peace of mind that you holding a hand on the clutch and keeping the bike running and you know, pick it up and get back on and take off. It's just simple things like that. Get him there first, and then it's like, yo, you want to go play in the street after I can trust that you can ride? Yeah, go ahead, but go over to this guy. If he's having a ride, go to him. You know.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Hey, so on a closing up, Bullo, man, like I just want to give you the floor, man. So any young stunners out there, or anybody looking out there to do the thing, and like here's the thing, guys, real quick before I give them the floor. It's like we've all done like the street stuff or whatever, and it's one of those things where, again, it shit seems crazy, but there's an etiquette to it. So
yeah,
you know what I mean, you can't go out there and do shit wild and go like against traffic and shit like that. That's when you're being a menace against what you've been a menace within a menace, if that makes sense. So there's definitely etiquette to it, man. So Bullo on there, man, what would you kick to like the young guys out there want to get in the stunt and they seen your videos? What would you say to them, advice as far as getting started, what they should be working on, and what they should be doing to go to the next level, man?
Honestly, what I see now is totally reverse what I used to tell people. I used to tell people, oh, before you get it unlocked, go to the parking lot and learn how to get it up, get a wheelie, lock it in, you know what I'm saying? But honestly, them days have changed. Now everybody is slapping every part on their bike and going to a street corner, a dead end street, and going back and forth, learning straight line combos. So what I taught people back in the day was different because everybody was into slow circles, technical shit that was new. Now people don't even trip off that. The first thing they want to do is learn how to do straight line combos going 55, 60. So nothing I can say can change it because what we were learning was never done before. Now that everything's been done, everybody's learning the straight line, fast in the street combination shit. And that's what everybody's learning. And to each their own, that's where it's at. We didn't have that learning because we didn't have back brakes in the beginning. We were just flying fucking 80 miles an hour on the street. It wasn't it wasn't until we learned how to slow it down that we're like, oh, we're going to learn all this shit in the parking lot. Now that it's all been learned, people went backwards to back in the street because that's where they're getting the most of the likes and most of the traction, the allure of being able to scrape. Scraping now is the number one thing. Scraping everything, titanium bar, sparking everything out. Like, it's wild. Like, that's its own new era, and that's where it's gone. It's like, I'm not telling people to do anything like we did because we were learning tricks that have never been done before. Everybody's now doing straight line combos, wheelies, jumping around, looking dope, getting the likes, and it's a whole nother beast. And that's the difference with me now, because I don't tell anybody that, because nobody's really learning that wants to sit in the parking lot, because nobody comes to the parking lot anymore. We used to all just, everybody, let's go meet up. We're going to have like fucking 60 people in a parking lot and party and fucking stunt.
Yeah,
now,
those used to be the days, yo.
And now it's back to street riding, to where it's, hey, we're meeting up at Sonic, kickstands up at 7, we're going to go bang all the way. And I love that, because I see that that's where the progression has become, is everybody wants to just do combos on the streets. Because honestly, a lot of it is the cops are so overwhelmed, they're not even tripping off it. And I understand that. When it was us, there was 3 or 4 people in the Bay Area who could stunt on the street. So if you're wheeling, they knew who you were. They're coming for you. They're going to find you. Now every city, every block, every corner, everybody's wheeling. There is so many people doing it that's where, like I'm saying, it's not going to stop. The explosion of the street game is only going to get bigger and larger.
Good shit. Good shit.
People don't even need super technical shit anymore. They don't even like the slow shit, which I understand. They know that they can bang wheelies all day on the street and get so many views and so many likes, and their names get out there. There's dudes that, I mean, even my Instagram, like, it's funny that my guys, that's all they do is post street shit, and they have so many followers, and I'm like, maybe 4,000, and my other guys are like 10,000. They're like 10,000, 12,000, because they are constantly putting that out there. But I've been through that. I don't need that. I don't think it's gonna. I don't think I'm gonna get in trouble.
We're older, man. We're older. Yeah.
When you get in trouble, like I said, my friends who just got busted, they had to delete all their Instagrams, all their Facebooks, because they're hot now. Like, I don't need the heat.
Yeah.
So what I would say is the new riders, their new limit is staying on the street. I love it to death. Streets will always be here. It's always going to get large. It's going to keep on growing. And shit, there's going to be, for every one rider I meet, 5 more new riders just started stunting, and it's just growing and growing nationwide, everywhere. It's crazy how big the scene is. Yeah. And I can honestly say, I'm just glad that I've seen it from its baby infancy to how big it is, and I'll still be here when it's the biggest it'll ever be.
Right. And Lex, real quick, I just thought about something when you was talking, man. This kind of got to take a page from Let's Take a Ride, man. So what would you say? What is the stunt bike capital in America to you? Like who is the yeah, go ahead.
Honestly, I'll tell you right now, for street riding, stunt street riding, nobody can beat California for streets. Now, dirt bike, we know it's East Coast, and Florida used to be the biggest street bike scene, but I'll tell you right now, nobody's beating the street scene in California. Nobody. I think it's just, there's so many crews and so many gutters, and there's a lot of street riders in other towns or small towns or whatever, but the cops will get them. The cops will get them. Texas is probably a slight second,
right?
But I mean, though, I would say California's first for street riding. Our rides, like I'm talking like daily riding, like everybody.
Yeah, not the biggest ride that
not big rides
that everybody sees, but just every day. Yeah, but just like if you roll down through a couple blocks in the town in Hayward and Berkeley. Right. You're gonna see stunt riders doing stunt shit. We popped out one night. We popped out one night. We were riding through Oakland. We went and checked out my boy's club. He got one on Telegraph. We went from there to go meet some cats over there at the lake. And there's some stunners right there at the lake and the stage doing circle.
But y'all riding. It's like 365. You can ride every day, right?
Yeah. We're 100%. Our rain is only missed for a little while. We get some hard shit, but sometime during that week, you're going to be able to go out and kill it.
Got you.
We're never...
And riding in New York, the dirt bike game is so big, but they're snatching bikes left and right. They're compact. Like, the dirt bike gang is the biggest on the East Coast. They win hands down. They'll beat everybody. Nobody on the California is fucking with that. Nobody. But they're losing their bikes at the highest rates you could ever imagine. They are crushing. They're not even selling their bikes. They get caught, they crush them. ATV, dirt bikes. They are not having that shit out there. It's crazy. So there are a lot of street riders out there. When they do the Martin Luther King ride in Florida, that's big as fuck. That's everybody on the East Coast. But I'm gonna tell you right now, I think California wise has the most street riders on any given day. Real talk. I don't think anybody here has as many street riders as we. There are a lot of stunters in a lot of states, but I think when it comes to like actually riding on the streets all the time, I think California got the most.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I mean, it makes sense, man, because the weather. I mean, like I always watch Lex videos, man, and like just if you watch a video and that shit looks dope, it's definitely dope in real life, man. Like out of the real eye, because it just look like you come over the crest and you see the ocean and shit. Like that shit looks dope, man.
Yeah. And that's what I tell cats, man. These fools be on all these groups and I post stuff, cats will be like, oh, man, all y'all got is this and that. I'll be like, cuz, California's the best, right? I was like, 15 minutes. In 15 minutes from right where I'm at, I can go to desert. I can go to rolling hills. I can go coastline. I can go city. I can go in all different environments.
We have the highest taxes and we pay the most because we pay for the seasons and we pay for everything. We got everything here. 2 hours away, we got ocean, we got beach, we got sand, we got snow. It's everything. Mountains. I mean, it's what we pay for.
We got the most racetracks. We got the most racetracks in the area. Like it's whatever you're into here in this state, right? We got the most legendary racetracks: Laguna Seca, Sonoma Raceway, Thunder Hill. Right? That's just the Bay Area. If you go a couple hours down. We've got Willow Springs, Button Willow Auto Club. We've got so many racetracks here. We've got the best back roads. You got the gnarliest scenery. Okay, gas is expensive. So what? Okay, they got all these stupid laws that people see and think, oh my God, it's so terrible. But how many times do they enforce those laws? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like.
All right, man. You don't sold me, man. If I leave Japan, I'm gonna come to Cali, man. That's because I'm definitely not going back to the East Coast. Fuck that shit. I'm done. Like the winter, man. Like I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, our winter is 56 degrees.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Good,
so it's all good. But man, I appreciate you for blessing us with the
time.
Good.
Yes. I appreciate you guys for the interview.
Yeah, for sure, man. I like to reach out to my guys and still be like, yo, I appreciate you because, I a lot from you.
And next ride we have, you better show up.
Call out.
I've been working on my wheelies all week. I haven't shown nothing.
Dog, it ain't even about the ride, dog. It's so fun. It's like the old days. It's like the old days, man. It is. So
yeah, I'm with it.
For real, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys shooting me out here. You know what I'm saying? And let me talk about some old war stories. But
yeah.
Oh yeah,
for sure, man. Like I said, man, I'll link up with Lex and get some footage and stuff to throw in there, man. And also, like, if you got this anything, any Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, just throw me on your links there, and I'll throw it into the video details so people can hit you up and everything, man. So again, man, I'm just very appreciative of your time, always of Lex time. And my thing is just like just spreading the culture, man, and letting people know how it was, because a lot of the new cats now, they got all these benefits and they don't know where they got them from, and it's from guys like yourself, guys like
people
Lex, putting in the work for real and making it real, man. So again, guys, it's gonna be Donnie signing off from Masawa, Japan. We got my guy Bullo, new brother in arms on the bikes, and we got my guy Lex here. And I'm probably gonna hold off on the street bike until I sell a few more cars, man, and get me like a 250 and like work my way up and shit, man. Give me a KTM or some shit. I like the way they look. But man, hey guys, go ahead and make sure you go ahead and like, subscribe, hit the bell and everything. The channel's starting to pop a little bit, man. So again, guys, this episode number 123, just like those gears and shit, man. So and just keep it popping, man. Keep it safe. It's gonna be Donnie signing. I'll see you guys later. Peace.
All right, man.